Chapter 275. Mars, Underground Steel City. This underground steel city, it's built really big. Dressed in a blood-red armor, Luo Feng's spirit energy swept in all directions, searching this ancient underground city. Luo Feng, go to the warehouse. Babata said, back then the miners dug out large amounts of black iron. It should be stored in an important warehouse. Luo Feng's spirit energy spread out to a 6,000 m area. This underground city's streets, buildings, etc., all had words written on them. The words were in the universe language. Using the words, in a short while, Luo Feng easily found the important location of the entire steel city, the warehouse where the black iron materials were stored. Luo Feng landed in front of the huge warehouse base. He couldn't help but be stunned, cursing softly. Big trouble. The warehouse base before him was filled with large amounts of black iron, almost like a small mountain. Not only did the huge warehouse slow down, even the courtyards outside were slowed down. They were even piled up outside the warehouse. Haha, back then, when the miners were trapped on Mars, even if they had large amounts of black iron, they wouldn't be able to transport it. Black iron is actually the most worthless. The entire steel city is made of black iron. Of course, this warehouse can be stacked casually. Babata said, Luo Feng, seriously look around. See if you can find any black iron spirits. Luo Feng looked at the small mountain of black iron. Helpless. Forcefully barge in? How? 8-grade black iron. Just based on its hardness, even a Star Traveler level 8 fighter would find it hard to break it. Luo Feng's soaring shuttle. It was hard to pierce through. Luo Feng could easily drill through the soil, but for his body to drill through a small mountain of black iron, it was as difficult as a normal person drilling through the ground, as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Collect, collect, collect. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Who? A large amount of black iron disappeared, and another pile disappeared. Using his space ring, Luo Feng swiftly kept the large amount of black iron. Babata, my space ring isn't big enough. Help me keep it. Luo Feng said his own space ring was over 600 m long, 500 m wide, and 100 m tall. In terms of space, it was over 30 million cubic meters. If he wanted to fill the space ring, it would definitely fit. However, Babata's space ring, it would be a waste not to use it. Sly Luo Feng. All right, I'll settle it. Babata said. Shwa, shwa, shwa. With the naked eye, Babata could clearly see the mountains of dark iron in front of him rapidly disappear, and in just a short while the entire area outside the warehouse, including the huge courtyard that was piled up like a small mountain, was all stored into Babata's storage space. In a total of 118 million tons, too little, barely enough to build a small interstellar warship, Babata said. Luo Feng laughed and strode towards the storehouse in front. The dark steel obstructions outside had all disappeared, revealing the exterior of the warehouse. The warehouse was a rectangular building that occupied a large area, and the door was tightly shut. Great! Luo Feng looked at the gigantic and thick black iron door. The hybrid copper essence shard turned into a flowing light and fiercely slashed into the door, forcefully cutting in. It's really thick. Luo Feng could clearly feel a large amount of spirit energy being expended. It was not difficult for the hybrid copper essence shard to cut the dark steel, but it was so thick that it consumed a lot of psyche power. It took him half a minute to cut a hole big enough for one person to enter. In the warehouse, the old way was to have Babata store a large amount of dark steel in his storage space. Dark red. Luo Feng glanced at the distant small pile of dark red metal, swiftly finding information on the dark steel from his large, inherited memories, determining the identity of the metal before him. Dark steel essence. I finally found it. Luo Feng was excited. The Golden Horn Beast's internal world currently needed to swallow B-grade metals. Only then could its growth speed increase. Babata, check. How much is there in this pile of dark steel essence? Luo Feng walked to the front of the dark steel essence. Shwa. A liquid silver guard appeared in mid-air. The liquid silver guard stared at the dark steel essence, its eyes gleaming, Obviously, it was collecting information on the pile. Its volume is about 35 cubic meters, a total of about 1,200 tons. Babata said. Oh, Luo Feng was about to praise. 1,200 tons? Right now, the swallowing monster can swallow close to 100 tons of 8 grade metals a day. That means it's enough to eat for about 10 days. One had to know. The star level 3 golden horn beast, if it swallowed all the metals on Earth, it could swallow up to 100 million tons of metals in a day. Just like a huge steel base that exceeded 500 m in length and width. One base would have over 10 million tons of metals. Back then, when it was a star level 1, it had to swallow quite a few bases before it was full. Now that it was a star level 3, its appetite had increased. It had to swallow even more. 8 grade metals, it had to swallow tens of thousands of tons a day. 8 grade, close to 100 tons was about right. Too little, too little. Luo Feng shook his head. After collecting all the dark steel in the warehouse, he didn't find any more dark steel essence. Babata, why is there so little of the dark steel essence here? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. It's not little, it's just that the golden horn beast can swallow too much. Is 1,200 tons little? Babata said. The pinnacle bloodlines of the space beasts, all of them are very sick. The flame star beast swallows stars. Even though your golden horn beast doesn't swallow stars, its requirements are very strict. When you become a sector lord, you'll be swallowing E-grade metals, swallowing so much every day. Even your teacher, the master of the UNMO planet, would be eating until he went broke. Luo Feng laughed bitterly. Right? The more he ate, the higher the quality of the metals. Unless Luo Feng was willing to grow at the slowest speed, that would save money. However, to grow quickly, just buying the pure metals would require a huge sum of money. Continue searching. See if there's any more dark steel essence in this steel city. Large-scale search. The entire city was made of dark steel. However, the houses and residences, etc., many of them weren't. It was just that too much time had passed. Most of them had decayed. Large-scale search. Luo Feng would occasionally find a few small pieces of dark steel essence within a few decaying residences, obviously treasured by the miners. Every time he collected a small amount. However, the more he searched, the more he found, the more than 1,000 tons. 32 minutes later. Rumble. Luo Feng kicked a dirty and decaying mansion's underground door. The dust on the door fell, revealing the door's original color, dark red. Dark steel essence door? Even the door is made of dark steel essence. What's in this underground room? Luo Feng revealed a look of glee. Keep. Immediately keeping a few tons of dark steel essence door into his space ring. After which Luo Feng stepped into the underground room that no one had entered for hundreds of thousands of years. The underground room occupied a huge amount of space. My God, Luo Feng stared. The huge underground room was very organized with large amounts of decaying weapons. The thing that took up the most space was the large amounts of dark red metal. The size was huge, far more than what Luo Feng had collected in the warehouse. And in the center of the dark red metal, there was even a blood red metal. Dark steel essence. So many dark steel essences. The one in the center is the dark steel essence? Luo Feng was stunned. There's actually more than the warehouse? Babata, hurry and calculate. How much is there? Luo Feng said. As he was affected by the pyramid, Babata could only release the liquid silver guards, using their eyes to look, gather information, and make a judgment. There's about 12,300 tons of dark steel essence. The C8 grade dark steel essence, about 360 kilograms. Babata said, much more than the warehouse. Luo Feng was extremely shocked. The warehouse only had a little over 1,000 tons of dark steel essence. There wasn't even a bit of the dark steel essence. Luo Feng, I suggest we go to the underground steel city's main control center, connect to the surveillance AI system, and check on the underground steel city's history. Babata said, I suspect this steel city, the miners have been trapped here for a long time. the internal system has changed. The dark steel essence and other things have been stored in a different place. All right. Luo Feng agreed with Babata. 5 minutes later, the black metal robot made a move, directly connecting to the underground Steel City surveillance AI system. With the support of the energy tower, the surveillance AI system had been working perfectly until Luo Feng cut off the energy supply. Very quickly, the infiltration was successful. I found the information. Back then, the Master destroyed the interstellar fleet with one move. There were a total of 2 million miners, unable to leave Mars. They used the virtual universe network to request for help, even offering a reward for help. However, after retreating underground, due to not being able to receive help for a long time, there's been a change within the miners. Amongst the miners, the ratio of men to women is close to 21. Just like your Earth's feudal lords fighting for supremacy, these 3 million people have begun to fight amongst themselves. After all, resources are limited, women are limited, beautiful women are even more limited. A few precious dark steel essences, the even more precious dark steel essence, were all hidden by the large powers in their own bases. However, the resources on Mars are limited. Gathering resources to create food is getting harder and harder. This Steel City, because they didn't have the information to build a universe ship, they've been thinking of ways to research on spaceships. After thousands of years, they finally painstakingly built 3 super small spaceships, sending a few elites out of the planet to fight for a sliver of hope for survival. The remaining thousands of other people went into sleep and died. This Steel City lasted for over 3,000 years before it was destroyed. Babata said. Luo Feng sighed. Over 3 million lives, constantly struggling. However, Mars was lacking in resources. Without supplies, there was no hope at all. Luo Feng, let's go. I have the maps of the large powers, their bases. Let's go search each one. Babata said. All right. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. They searched a total of 12 places, of which 8 were empty. Obviously, they were the bases of the powers that failed to conquer. The other 4 places, the rewards were much bigger than the warehouses. From then on, the entire underground Steel City, Luo Feng had looted almost all of the dark steel essences and dark steel essence, of which the dark steel essences reached about 33,600 tons. The dark steel essence was about 34 tons. Over 30,000 tons of dark steel essences. It's about enough to devour for a year. Luo Feng stood at the entrance of the Steel City. Looking at the pitch-black city, he was troubled, wanting the golden horned beast to grow faster. The price was really huge. When it reaches the universe level golden horned beast, its devouring power will be even more ridiculous. These dark steel essences, when that time comes, it probably won't even be enough to devour for a day. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. There's a second chapter before 10:20. Everyone please throw a few recommendation votes to support me. Chapter 276. After sweeping the underground Steel City clean, Luo Feng flew out of the city gates. Luo Feng, wait a moment. Babata shouted. What's the matter, Babata? Luo Feng was suspicious. Don't tell me this Steel City still has treasures. Stupid. The most valuable thing in this Steel City isn't the black iron essence or the black iron essence. It's almost entirely made out of black iron. Babata couldn't help but say. Luo Feng was shocked. Luo Feng, don't you know you're very poor now? Babata laughed evilly. Very poor? Do you have money? I'm talking about currency that can be used in the universe, not Earth's money. Do you? Babata asked. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. On Earth, money had no meaning to him. However, in the vast universe, he was indeed very poor. Firstly, he had 0 cash and 0 universe bank account. Your teacher did prepare 3 bank accounts for you, but they're only for you to reach the star level, universe level, and domain lord level. Babata said, before your teacher fell, he used the virtual universe network to set up these 3 accounts for you. And it requires that your personal strength meets the requirements, so you can collect it personally. Your golden horned beast body has reached the star level. However, don't tell me you're going to use your golden horn beast body to go to the bank? Babata asked. Only after reaching the star level could one acquire the wealth of the first bank account. However, his golden horn beast body didn't dare show itself, and his human body's strength wasn't enough. Hence, Luo Feng, your current cash is 0. Your bank account is as good as empty. You do have many treasures. The Yun-Mo planet ship is a priceless treasure. The Black Dragon ship is also very expensive. However, if you take it out, without a doubt, even sector lords and undying beings would come to steal it. That would be suicide. And the Black Dragon ship, you need to use it yourself. The Cloud Contact Vine has already recognized its owner. The Soaring Shuttle Arc Cutter Blade. You need to use it yourself. The only things that can really be sold for money are the liquid silver guards, along with my Muya crystals and energy crystals. Babata said, and the Muya crystals, the Cloud Contact Vine needs to grow. What about the energy crystals? The Black Dragon ship also requires energy. If I use it for a long period of time, I might not even have enough energy crystals. I'll still need to buy more. Luo Feng was stunned. He was the descendant of Yun-Mo planet, but now he did not have a single cent of cash. Property? The Black Dragon ship, spirit weapons, Muya crystals, and energy crystals were all necessities. That's why Luo Feng, before your human body reaches the star level, you're still very poor. Babata said helplessly, "Isn't there a ship fragment?" Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. That's a wreckage. It's classified as trash. It's too troublesome to even refurbish it. Babata said, how much can be sold for? 1 Muya crystal can be exchanged for countless fragments. Luo Feng frowned. Luo Feng was very clear that he would inevitably have to enter the universe in the future. For example, he could only buy some of the metal combinations he needed to practice his deity of the world. If he relied on himself to find them in the universe, how long would that take? In a vast universe, even undying realm experts valued money. Of course, it was the universal currency. It was not the currency issued by a single planet like Earth. How could he not have money? Without money, he couldn't even open an account in the virtual universe network. Luo Feng, I'll tell you everything. Babata said, the energy crystals in my storage space, if you use the Black Dragon ship frequently, would probably be used up in a few decades. The Muya crystals I have here are enough for you to reach the star level 1. Let the Cloud Contact Vine grow to the star level 5 or 6. Babata said, as for the others, that's all. As for the energy crystals and Muya crystals, it's up to you to decide. Luo Feng began to think carefully. His own wealth was split into 3 levels. The highest level, the Yun-Mo planet ship, the Undying Expert's corpse, they were all shocking treasures. It was a pity that the moment he took out such treasures, it was equivalent to suicide. The second level, the 3 bank accounts his teacher gave him, he needed to be strong enough to withdraw money. The third level, the Black Dragon ship he was using, the Soaring Shuttle, the Arc Cutter Blade, the Liquid Silver Guards, and the Muya crystals and energy crystals he left with Babata. I can't bear to part with them. Luo Feng shook his head. That's why your biggest sum of money right now is this black iron. Babata shouted excitedly. These are all black iron raw materials, and not the alloy wreckage. The alloy wreckage of the ship is the most worthless. As for the raw materials, they can be used to make tools, weapons, etc. They're still worth a lot of money. Luo Feng nodded. Just like how iron, ores, and other raw materials were worth a lot of money in the universe, while there were many places to excavate for metal raw materials, there were still costs involved. Black iron is an A8 grade metal. It's very cheap. However, there's a lot of it. Babata shouted. Back then, we used interstellar transport ships to transport millions of miners to excavate it. Looks like this is my first profit. Luo Feng looked at the steel city, his gaze heated. You're in charge of dismantling it. I'll be in charge of storing it in my storage space. Babata shouted. All right. Rumble, the steel city occasionally emitted rumbling sounds. With Luo Feng's dismantling and Babata's storage space, the efficiency was extremely high. The Steel City was about 10 kilometers in length and width. Large chunks of black iron raw materials were all stored by Babata. Some of the black iron that had been poured into pillars were also stored. 8 hours later, the entire Steel City was gone, leaving behind only a few decayed remains. Luo Feng, we've discarded some of the decayed ones. The total amount of black iron raw materials we've collected is a total of 28 billion tons. Babata said excitedly. Haha, just with these raw materials, Luo Feng, you've finally got your first capital. Luo Feng flew out of the ground. From high up in the sky, he looked down at the surface of Mars. It's a pity there's still a lot of black iron veins underground, but the difficulty of excavating them is very high. Babata said helplessly, even if you're strong, one person can't excavate the entire vein, unless it's those pure metal veins. Don't be too greedy. Luo Feng was very clear. What he had here was the result of over 3 million miners working together with their equipment. Earth, China, Jiangnan headquarters city, Yangzhou City. Evening, the red sun hung in the west. A huge black disc-shaped ship was thousands of meters above Yangzhou City. However, not a single country on Earth had discovered this ship. The ship's cabin door opened. A youth dressed in a casual shirt flew out. The ship suddenly disappeared. The youth flew downwards. I'm back. How mysterious. Go to Mars in the morning and returning to Earth in the evening. Luo Feng couldn't help but compliment. And I've even struck it rich. Over 3 million miners were working hard. This 28 billion tons of black iron was much more valuable than 2 tons of black iron essence. After all, there was a lot of it. Dad. In the courtyard, 2 children were jogging and playing. One of them shouted excitedly. The other child raised his head too. Indeed, their father Luo Feng flew down from the sky. Ping ping, little Hai, come, give me a kiss. Luo Feng squatted down and hugged his 2 sons, smiling. Due to a car horn sounded. Luo Feng turned to look, only to see Su Ixan driving her car towards the garage, purposely honking, causing the 2 children to shout, Mom. Dinner is almost ready. Little Feng, you and Su Xian just happened to return at this time. What a coincidence. Gong Xian Lan laughed. Luo Feng's days were very comfortable. The Golden Horn Beast's internal world was immersed in its absolute space training. The internal world was absorbing close to 100 tons of black iron essence every day. Multitasking to Luo Feng was very simple. Like an undying being, his soul's calculation speed wasn't any lower than a living AI. Every second counted in trillions. Luo Feng's soul was already a star level 3 soul. If he split his attention to control objects, controlling hundreds to thousands of objects in different trajectories was a simple task. Even if he used all his strength to control each one. The consciousness of a star level 3. He could control 32 threads of spirit energy, meaning to say Luo Feng could multitask 32 times at once. Every one of them was at its highest efficiency. Yes, 32. Back when Luo Feng was a star traveler level 3, his consciousness level could control 19 threads of spirit energy. And now, with his star level 3 soul consciousness, he could control 32 threads of spirit energy. Luo Feng frequently sat in a ship to leave Earth, heading to other planets in the solar system. No one noticed. After all, Luo Feng returned too quickly. Even the furthest planet in the solar system, with the Black Dragon ship, 2 days was enough. Earth was silent. Hongning headquarters city. Year 2062 spring. In the headquarters of the dojo of limits within the huge ship, in one of the spacious rooms, there were 2 beds. Beside them were large amounts of equipment. Everything was to maintain the lives of the 2 warriors. On the left lay the white-robed Thunder God. On the right lay the black-clothed Hong. Outside the room, there were 2 people standing outside the glass. Looking inside, their eyes filled with sadness. Ice Mountain, when will the head wake up? Allure couldn't help but ask softly. I don't know. However, I will wait. I will continue to wait. The ice-cold man beside said. Allure nodded. However, an An ear-piercing alarm suddenly resounded outside. Rumble. A group of doctors immediately rushed in. Allure and Ice Mountain's 2 guards stared wide-eyed inside. The door immediately opened. The 2 old doctors entered. The others were locked outside. Brainwaves? Brainwaves have been discovered. A white-haired old doctor shouted excitedly. The 2 heads have brainwaves, and they're getting stronger. Another doctor shouted excitedly. The equipment displayed the brainwaves. The 2 heads' brain waves rose and fell, almost as though they were competing with each other, one stronger than the other. Stronger and stronger. Suddenly, the black-clothed Hong's eyelids trembled, after which he slowly opened his eyes. P.S. Chapter 2 has arrived, Saturday late, today's payment. Hence there's still a 3rd chapter today. Chapter 277. Night. Luo Feng and Su Xian were hugging their children and watching television. Luo Feng picked up his phone. Looking at the caller ID on the screen, he was shocked. "What's up?" Su Xian asked curiously. "It's the head Hong's call." Luo Feng creased his eyebrows curiously. Ever since the swallowing monster incident, Hong and Thunder God had been in deep slumber. Su Xian was shocked too. Who dares use Hong's phone? "Hello," Luo Feng answered. Luo Feng. That powerful voice resounded. "Head?" Luo Feng was shocked. Beside him, Su Xian too stared wide-eyed. Hong was awake? After 2 years of slumber, Hong was awake? This was definitely news that shocked the entire world. "We've just woken up. Thunder God is awake too. We just found out what happened after we fell asleep. Thank you for saving our lives, and thank you for saving humanity." Hong's voice was filled with joy. "If there's nothing, come to Hong Ning headquarters city for a trip." "All right, I'll head over now." Luo Feng nodded. "All right, Thunder God and I will be here." Hong smiled. After hanging up, beside him Su Xian couldn't help but ask, "Hong is revived?" "Thunder God too." Luo Feng smiled. "I'll head over now. I'll probably be back late at night." Su Xian nodded. Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle, swiftly leaving Jiangnan headquarters city, rushing towards the dojo of Limit's headquarters with his fastest speed. Outside the dojo of Limit's headquarters, there were many fighter jets parked. It was extremely lively. "Investigator Luo." The headquarters guard bowed respectfully. Luo Feng swiftly entered the headquarters. Under the guidance of the staff, he arrived at a guest room. Within the guest room, there was only Hong and Thunder God. Luo Feng, one black and one white-clothed man, upon seeing Luo Feng, came forward. "Ha! Luo Feng, I've let you get all the attention." Thunder God laughed loudly as he hammered Luo Feng's chest. "Seeing that you've saved my life, I'll let this go, huh? Second brother's skin is really thick. Don't lower yourself to his level." Hong said to Luo Feng. Thunder God couldn't help but stare. I'm a big shot. I won't lower myself to his level." Luo Feng said seriously. "F***CK, you too." Thunder God was so angry he stared. Hong and Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh out loud. Sit down." Under Hong's invitation, the 3 of them sat down. These 3 people were the 3 most powerful experts on Earth. Luo Feng, Thunder God, stopped laughing and said solemnly, "This time, after Big Brother and I found out what happened, we were really afraid. We were afraid that the human race would perish. Thank you. I won't say much about my gratitude. It's all in the wine." Hong personally poured 3 cups of wine. "Come." The 3 of them picked up their glasses. F***CK. He drank it all in one gulp. Luo Feng. Hong smiled. "Before, you dealt with Atkin and his group of trash. Thank you too. Otherwise, if we let that group of people cause a ruckus, I don't know what would happen. Especially my Thunder Dojo. Seigo Neru also wants to sit in the dojo master's position. To be so shameless as to make a move on the family of a hero who sacrificed himself for humanity. These people deserve to die." Thunder God couldn't help but curse. After waking up and finding out what had happened, Thunder God was extremely angry. Luo Feng smiled. "These are all small matters." After dealing with those 3 black sheep, the countries and powers immediately calmed down a lot. Killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Hong nodded. Earth's matters are small matters. After Thunder God and I woke up, we discussed and came to a decision. Decision? Luo Feng looked curiously at Hong and Thunder God. These two had been asleep for 2 years. What decision had they made after waking up? Luo Feng. Thunder God emphasized, Hong and I have received some knowledge from the archaeological ruins. We can even make translation software. You should be able to tell that we know a lot about the universe. In the vast universe, there are too many strong countries. Our Milky Way is a part of the Silver Blue Empire. Also, for a planet without a master like ours, the moment it's discovered, it'll be a nightmare. Thunder God's expression was serious. Hong nodded, right, a nightmare. If we're lucky, our Earth will become the territory of a strong warrior. However, the bigger possibility is all the people on Earth will be sold as slaves. After that, the entire planet will be sold to a few strong warriors. Luo Feng nodded. Regarding these, Luo Feng was very clear. In the universe, the division of status, the existence of slavery, etc., in short, the countless races of humanity in the universe, all these systems were for the sake of competition, to filter out the strong. The strong could obtain high positions and treatment, and the weak were pitiful. The swallowing monster is powerful. However, it's after all only one. We can resist. Hong's expression was serious. However, the huge powers in the universe, if they randomly send an interstellar fleet, we won't even have the power to resist. Thunder God nodded. There's only one thing we can do. Make ourselves stronger. Only then can we protect our home. Luo Feng's heart was heavy. He knew more than Hong and Thunder God. In the universe, some aboriginal planets often had tragic fates. These things were already common. In the universe, those aboriginal planets would occasionally produce a few strong warriors fighting for their own planet, protecting their planet's race, their home. Luo Feng, you don't want to see Earth meet such a fate, right? Hong looked at Luo Feng. Of course, Luo Feng said. That's why, Luo Feng, follow us and train from now on. On Earth, in terms of fighter talent, I'm not bragging, only me and Brother Hong have it. And the spirit reader talent is naturally you, Luo Feng. Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. The three of us are the strongest on Earth. Of course, we have to be even more united. Hong looked at Luo Feng too. Luo Feng laughed, nodding. Ha! Ha ha! The three of them laughed. Heroes appreciate each other. It's said that the strong are lonely, because after becoming invincible, there's no one else who can match up to you. Naturally, you'll feel lonely. Just like before when Hong and Thunder God were asleep, Luo Feng was invincible on Earth. Really, back then, Luo Feng really felt lonely. And with Hong and Thunder God's awakening, Luo Feng was happy from the bottom of his heart. He finally had companions along the way. Luo Feng, from today onwards, you're the third brother. Hong smiled happily. Little third brother, little third brother. Thunder God laughed weirdly. I'm tired. I'm returning to the palace. Little waiter, aren't you going to pour some wine? I'll give you some money. Luo Feng teased Thunder God. This training path is very difficult. We have to help each other and spar frequently. Only then can we improve faster. Hong said. Thunder God nodded too. The two of them have high comprehension, but the Earth's genes are really ordinary. Bada shouted. Also, they don't have any teachers. It's like a blind man groping an elephant. No teachers, no good genes. All they have is comprehension. I dare to bet. The two of them may reach the Star Traveler level 9 in 10 to 20 years. However, breaking through from the Star Traveler level 9 to the Star level 1, difficult. At least 50 to 60 years. Luo Feng, your source world is already at the Star level 3. Hence, your human body can constantly evolve. Even though it's limited by the Earth's talent, it's a little slow. But you'll still be much faster than them. Babada said. Luo Feng's heart moved. Babada, doesn't our Yin Mo planet have collected fighter training manuals too? Pass them on to Hong and Thunder God. Without a teacher, even with talent, it would be hard to go far. As fellow Earthlings, and as one of the three most outstanding people on Earth, Luo Feng hoped that Hong and Thunder God would be able to keep up with his footsteps. How can we do that? This is our Yun Mo planet's training manuals. Babata denied. Passing them on to outsiders is a capital offense. Our Yun Mo planet's training manuals are mainly spirit readers. Luo Feng laughed. Our teacher is also a spirit reader. The techniques he created, like the Soul Imprint 6 Lights Tower of the Void, etc., are all spirit readers. Those fighter training manuals, I'm guessing they're techniques he collected outside. Oh, but they're still your teacher's hard work. Babata said, we can't pass them on to outsiders, not disciples of our Unimo planet. We can't pass them on. Luo Feng's thoughts and Babata continued to communicate. However, Babata refused. Luo Feng finally understood. When a living AI is stubborn, there's no way to persuade it. How about this? We'll take Hong and Thunder God as Yun Mo planet disciples. How about that? Luo Feng asked. Oh, Babata stared wide-eyed, nodding, that's fine. Oh, Luo Feng was shocked. That's too straightforward. Take them in as disciples. Luo Feng, hurry and take them in. They're definitely the most exceptional disciples. Star travelers can have their own domains. Back then I was crying over their deaths. Luckily they woke up. Such geniuses, two geniuses, they'll definitely be fought over in the universe. Babata said, even though the master of the UNMO planet was a spirit reader. But a power couldn't just be all spirit readers. Just the undying servants under the master of the UNMO planet were mostly undying fighters. Within the living room. What's so serious? Thunder God stared at Luo Feng. Hong listened carefully. It's like this. I've once received a training manual. Within our spirit reader training manuals and fighter training manuals. Luo Feng said seriously. Beside him, Hong and Thunder God were overjoyed. Luo Feng continued. However, our training manual forbids outsiders from passing it on. I can't go against it. Hence, I want to ask, are you two willing to join my training manual? What power? Hong asked. What are the conditions? What sect? Thunder God asked. What are the rules? Right now, there's only me left in the sect. Luo Feng said. Damn. Thunder God stared. Why didn't you say so earlier? You're the only one left. I thought joining the sect would make me an underling, a cannon fodder. A sect with only you. Join, of course I'll join. Right, join. Hong laughed. Right, what sect? My sect belongs to the Yun Mo planet. Luo Feng laughed too. Next time when you go out, don't tell others that it's the Yun Mo planet sect. After all, the entire Yun Mo planet has been destroyed by the enemy. Hence, announcing your name would be courting death. Thunder God and Hong exchanged glances. The sect's base was destroyed? Good news. Good news. Thunder God laughed and praised. This means we're not bound anymore. Hong smiled too. Bastards, two bastards. Not respecting the sect, they deserve to be punished. Within the AI space, Babata was furious and helpless. P.S. 3 chapters completed. Hong and Thunder God had also entered the Yun Mo Planet Fighter sect, at the same time, very sincerely calling for the monthly votes. Also calling for everyone's recommendation votes. Monthly votes. Recommendation votes. I really want tomatoes. Chapter 278. Late at night, in the guest room, Hong and Thunder God seemed to be in a trance, staring at the communicator watch on their wrists, carefully reading the Yun Mo Planet Fighter Training Manual that Luo Feng had just sent over. My God, it's actually like this. Thunder God muttered, wrong, my Thunderblade 9 stage, compared to it, is much weaker. So it can be like this. Hong's eyes were gleaming, immersed in reading the manual. Luo Feng said from the side, training the basics are the most important. If you want to raise as fast as possible right from the start, it will result in a weak foundation. In the future, from the Star Traveler level 9 to the Star level, from the Star level 9 to the Universe level, it will be extremely difficult. The basics must be solid. Hey, are you guys listening? This was what Babata wanted Luo Feng to say. All right, third brother. Before the Grand Nirvana period, we've already started training. Of course, we know the importance of the basics. Thunder God waved his hand. This manual is simply too amazing. Don't disturb me from reading it. You punk. Luo Feng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What an amazing manual. Hong looked up at Luo Feng, his face filled with excitement. Luo Feng, this is definitely the most from shallow to deep I've ever seen. The explanation is extremely clear. Even some of the things that must be understood, the concepts that can't be taught, are clearly described. It's too amazing. Luo Feng laughed. Of course it's amazing. Don't you know which power this manual came from? This was from the Yun-Mo planet. Firstly, the Yun-Mo planet master had 9 undying slaves. Just the manuals from those 9 undying warriors were already amazing. Not to mention the Yun-Mo planet master's many years of effort to collect them. Placed in the universe, those were top-notch manuals. To Hong and Thunder God, who had always been trying to figure out their own manuals couldn't even compare to the Yun-Mo planet's manuals. For example, strength exertion. Thunderblade 9 Stage S maximum strength exertion was 7 times, and the body's defense couldn't be raised at the same time. However, the body's theoretical limit was 100 times. At this time, the body's full potential could be unleashed, meaning the normal fighter on Earth only had 1% of his body's potential. Even a Thunderblade 9 Stage S highest level could only unleash 7%. To unleash 100% of one's potential, that meant reaching the theoretical limit of 100 times. It was difficult, extremely difficult. Even a Realm Lord would find it hard to do so. Just like mind expanse, it was actually the degree of brain development. Luo Feng's previous brain expanse was 22, which meant that his brain was developed at 22%. And for normal people on Earth, reaching 1% was already not bad. And to develop the brain to 60%, mind expanse 60, or 70%, mind expanse 70, was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Haha, continue watching. However, remember, you must not spread it. Luo Feng emphasized, didn't we make an oath during the ceremony to enter the Yun-Mo planet? Don't worry. Thunder God laughed. Hong also nodded. Private virtual space, Scarlet Castle, training room. Babata, who was wearing a black robe, sat on the desk, one hand holding an apple, and glanced at Luo Feng. Hey, Luo Feng. Na Hong and Thunder God's perception was very high. Even without secret manuals, they could still have their own domains. Now that I have the secret manual, my strength will definitely increase explosively in the near future. I understand. Luo Feng hugged the soul imprint book and didn't even raise his head. Damn, don't you feel any pressure? Babata's blood-red eyes stared wide open, revealing his fangs. Pa! Luo Feng closed the book and turned to look at Babata. What do you want to say? Say it. It's not interesting at all. Babata curled his lips. It's very simple. Do you still remember, when you first came here, what I told you? Let me remind you about the basics. Of course I remember. You said back then, I need a whole 50 years to train to the star level 1. Luo Feng laughed. It's because I need to build up the basics. If I crazily raise my strength and ignore the basics, I'd be able to reach the star level 1 in 3 years. However, the price is that I'll never be able to reach the universe level. Right, Babata slightly raised his head. However, times have changed. Luo Feng frowned. From the Star Traveler level 9 to the Star level 1, from the Star level 9 to the Universe level 1, from the Universe level 9 to the Domain Lord level 1, and finally breaking through to the Sector Lord level. Every checkpoint, every bottleneck is a leap in life. They're all extremely, extremely difficult. Babata smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. That's why the basics have to be incomparably solid. However, the situation has changed. Changed? Luo Feng suddenly understood. Right now, your foundation is the internal world. Babata said, as the internal world grows, the growth of the physical body will have no bottlenecks. I know. Luo Feng nodded. The internal world needs to swallow large amounts of metal to grow. The internal world was at the star level 3. Then, Luo Feng's body, the golden horn beast body and human body, both bodies and soul, would at most reach the star level 3. On the other hand, if the internal world grew to the universe level 1, then Luo Feng's soul and two bodies wouldn't meet any bottlenecks. They could constantly grow. At this time, it all depended on one's talent, like the Golden Horn Beast. The moment the internal world grew, the Golden Horn Beast's physical body grew too. However, Luo Feng's earth body, even though it didn't have any bottlenecks, it still slowly grew step by step. Even if it was a smooth road, the earth body's evolution speed was slow. Because your foundation is the internal world. As long as the internal world grows, the body and soul won't have any bottlenecks or barriers. That's why, right now, you can completely use the force-feeding method to crazily improve. Babada said, with the fastest speed, the highest efficiency of improving your body. Luo Feng's eyes lit up. The thing that hindered his human body's strength was his body's limitations. From today onwards, your evolution. Don't use the internal world's metal universe energy. Babada said, even though that universe energy is not bad, it can't compare to the Muya crystal. The Muya crystal has a strong life force. In terms of improving life, its efficiency is extremely high. Of course, Luo Feng knew this. He had personally seen a Horde leader monster eat a Muya crystal, immediately evolving into an Emperor-level monster. Oh, of course, the Mixed chapter, Control chapter, and Illusion chapter still have to persevere in training. Babada said, this concerns your battle techniques and control abilities. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Even if he was strong, he had to be able to unleash it. From today onwards, your battle techniques and control abilities take up 60% of your daily training. The force-feeding method takes up 40%. This way, I can barely guarantee that your battle techniques will match up to your sudden increase in strength. Babada decided. Luo Feng was anticipating. Force-feeding method? Since then, Luo Feng had been focusing on Yun Mo Planet's secret techniques, battle techniques, and control abilities, and of course the force-feeding method to evolve his body. The rest of the time, he would occasionally spar with Hong and Thunder God. These spars allowed Luo Feng's battle experience to constantly increase. Year 2062, hot summer. The vast Pacific Ocean, the waves glowed under the sun's rays, beautiful and colorful. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Three silhouettes broke through the sea and rushed into the sky, laughing loudly. Luo Feng, you really stole my thunder this time. Originally, I was prepared to kill that Thunder Dragon Emperor in one clean slash. What about you? Before I even flew over, you controlled your soaring shuttle from afar and killed that Thunder Dragon Emperor. You stole the 8-clawed Beast Emperor and the Thunder Dragon Emperor all by yourself. Who asked you to run so slowly? Luo Feng joked. Damn, you've gotten the advantage and you're still pretending. Come, receive my blade. Thunder God shouted. Rumble. The surrounding land and skies were filled with flowing lightning snakes, and Thunder God, who was in the middle of the domain, wielded a purple-black battle blade. The purple-black battle blade's body was wrapped with lightning snakes, almost like a god's weapon. And Thunder God's body moved, leaving a blur as he flew over, the purple-black battle blade in his hand, slashing out a bolt of lightning. Why would I be afraid of you? Luo Feng laughed loudly. 32 blades immediately flew out, seemingly without any pattern as they enveloped the area. Clang, clang, clang. Blade after blade clashed against the purple-black battle blade, almost like an expert commander controlling each blade, knocking, cutting, scraping, wrapping, all sorts of methods, swiftly causing the purple-black battle blade's aura to weaken. Luo Feng waved his hand. The 32 blades seemed to be threaded, circling around Luo Feng's body once, before speeding up and wrapping around Thunder God. Damn. Thunder God felt as though he was facing the attacks of 32 warriors, and their coordination was perfect. Thunder movement. Thunder God roared. His expression was malevolent, his veins popping out. Rumble. The purplish-black saber in his hand suddenly exploded, turning into a huge lightning saber light that was like a waterfall. In an instant, the 32 saber blades were messed up, and the 32 saber blades were knocked flying everywhere. Playing for real, Luo Feng stared. His body became a blur, simultaneously shouting, soaring shuttle swordfish formation. Xiao, xiao, xiao. Of the 32 blades, 2 of them flew back to the soaring shuttle under Luo Feng's feet. The remaining 30 blades were a bit further away from each other. In midair, the 30 blades actually formed the rough shape of a swordfish. It had a fish mouth and a fish tail. It was extremely lifelike and strange. Chi-Chi, the 30 blades simultaneously flashed with golden threads. The golden threads intertwined, immediately forming a golden swordfish. Like a fish, slightly waving its tail, it moved strangely, and the swordfish's mouth was incomparably sharp. "Stop!" Thunder God shouted. "Why aren't you fighting anymore?" Luo Feng floated in mid-air, a golden swordfish floating beside him. "I was trampled by you last time. Don't tell me you're going to trample me again." Thunder God couldn't help but mutter, "What a monster! I'm already a star traveler level 9 with a domain, yet I can't even beat you. Big brother is stronger than me, and now even third brother is stronger than me. It's infuriating, it's infuriating." Luo Feng laughed. Thunder God and Hong had relied on the instruction manuals to improve quite a bit. Thunder God was a star traveler level 9 fighter, first level domain. Hong was a star traveler level 8 fighter, second level domain. Luo Feng, in half a year's time, relied on the crazily forced feeding method to raise his body from the star traveler level 3 to 5. His spirit reading naturally rose by 2 levels too. Luo Feng, a star traveler level 8 spirit reader. His consciousness strength was 32, and he could already use his ultimate move, the soaring shuttle's swordfish formation. It was because of this swordfish formation that Luo Feng was able to suppress Thunder God, not much different from Hong. The soaring shuttle had a total of 3 main forms. The first form, with an amplifier of 12, could be trained. The second form, with an amplifier of 30, could be trained. The third form was the final form, reaching the universe level, having one's own domain, with an amplifier of 48, could be trained. And Luo Feng's consciousness strength was 32. After painstakingly training, he finally made some progress in the soaring shuttle's second form's attack form, the swordfish formation. In terms of flexibility, power, mobility, etc., the second form's swordfish formation was much stronger than the first form's mountain drills. Its power was huge. The training difficulty was much harder too. It wasn't like the first form where he could immediately succeed. Even though Luo Feng had long reached the requirements to train, he had only completed it a few days ago. P.S. Chapter 1. Chapter 279. Second brother. Do you know the difference? Hong joked. Then hurry and work hard on your training. Either raise your domain by 1 level or break through from the Star Traveler level 9 to the Star level 1. Any one of them, as long as you break through. You'll be able to surpass me and Luo Feng. The realms were divided into 4 levels. Basics, Conception, Domain, World, and above that were the Undying Warriors. Every level was very thin. Domains a total of 9 levels. Many universe levels and domain lords struggled bitterly within the 9 levels. Every increase in level was extremely difficult. The Star Traveler level 9 to step into the Star level. The difficulty isn't any lower than the Star Traveler level 1 to 9, not to mention the more difficult domains. Thunder God rubbed his chin. Brother Hong, you've always been above me. Third brother is even more sick. At such a young age, he's already surpassed me. This old face of mine, it's almost gone. Luo Feng and Hong laughed. Hong's wrist communicator suddenly vibrated, slightly looking at it. The dojo has some matters. We'll leave here for today. The Thunder Dragon Emperor has been killed. Time to go home. Thunder God waved his hand and flew away. Luo Feng and Hong parted ways, returning to their own homes. Flying in the air above China, Luo Feng looked down below. With a glance he could see the dilapidated and decaying cities, with the food and living beasts, and the warriors carefully training within the dilapidated cities. Looking at the warriors, Luo Feng felt like he was looking at himself back then. Luo Feng, Babata shouted excitedly. What's the matter? Why are you so happy? Luo Feng asked through his thoughts. The auxiliary energy system has been completed. From now on, the Black Dragon Mountain X-81 ship is in perfect condition. Just one more day, after I've finished installing the auxiliary energy system, then you'll be able to ride the Black Dragon ship and travel through the universe, roaming the vast universe, seeing the countless races in the universe. Babata was extremely excited. It had been too long. It had been trapped underground for too long. It had long wanted to explore the universe. I can travel through the universe? Luo Feng was shocked, stopping his flight, floating in mid-air. Right. Babata was extremely excited. Luo Feng couldn't help but feel his blood boil. If an ordinary person from Earth thought of going to the moon one day, they would probably be so excited that they would not be able to sleep. Not to mention, Luo Feng now had hopes of universe travel, roaming the universe and seeing the countless human races in the universe. This kind of excitement was indeed uncontrollable. Of course, Luo Feng loved his home, Earth. But occasionally going to other planets in the universe to take a look is also very good. Luo Feng. Once your Earth is discovered by other adventurers or some countries in the universe, you'll be in trouble. Therefore, you must integrate into the universe as soon as possible. That way, it'll be beneficial to Earth's survival in the future. Babata was thinking of ways to persuade Luo Feng to explore the universe. Merging into the universe. The most important thing is you have to open an account in the Virtual Universe Network. That way, you can enter the virtual universe and interact with the countless races. Babata said, to an intelligent life like Babata, the temptation of entering the virtual universe was not any weaker than roaming the real universe. Just go to a foreign planet once, open an account, and then come back to Earth. Babata anxiously persuaded. Rest assured, Luo Feng smiled. Of course I have to go. I even want to go right now, but I just thought about it. My internal world, I estimate it'll take about a month before it evolves. When that time comes, the Golden Horn Beast's power will be even stronger. It's better to wait until it evolves before heading to the planet. A month? Oh, all right. Babata was helpless, but he still agreed. Universe? Luo Feng stood high up in the sky of the wilderness. Looking at the 10,000 li of mountains and rivers, his heart had already floated to the vast and mysterious space. In the universe space, within the famous void region of the Milky Way. So, the silver saucer-shaped spaceship was flying steadily at an astonishing speed, constantly approaching the direction of Earth. Within the ship, a handsome middle-aged man dressed in a silver-gray uniform stood before the control board. Beside him, a strong and sturdy man with a face covered in black fur, his entire body like a chimpanzee, about 2 centimeters tall, said worriedly, Captain, right now the captain's family's fleet is already in the void region. When that time comes, will the family steal the captain's benefits? Only giving a small portion to the captain? Humph. The handsome middle-aged man said coldly, even though my relationship with my grandfather is a little strained, he's not that kind of person. However, this is, after all, a life planet. The black gorilla man said, without seeing the planet, its value is inestimable. However, this is, after all, an invincible warrior once took over a life planet. Its value will definitely be higher than a normal life planet. In front of such huge benefits, even blood brothers will kill each other. Captain, you have to be careful. The handsome middle-aged man glanced at the gorilla, then looked around at the other crew members and smiled. Everyone, no matter what, the benefits of our adventurer team will not be reduced. After all, you are my companions who have gone through life and death with me. The crew members all smiled. The moment we reach the life planet, we'll immediately take samples and gather data. Just taking samples and collecting data will take a few days. The handsome middle-aged man said, when that time comes, I can immediately enter the virtual universe network and find a buyer. The family won't be faster than us. Everything is in our hands. The handsome middle-aged man laughed. The more benefits the family gives me, the more I'll give them. Everyone, your share will definitely not be small. Immediately, there was a round of laughter. Atuka, How much longer until we reach the first life planet? The handsome middle-aged man asked. A child's head appeared on the control panel, saying crisply, "Captain, we'll arrive in 91 days. Very good. The handsome middle-aged man revealed a smile. The silver gray adventure universe ship headed towards Earth. Late September, Earth, China, 8,000 meters above Jiangnan headquarters city. A huge black ship floated. The ship within a large study room in the middle. Luo Feng stood calmly in the study room. With a wave of his hand, a small pile of dark red metal appeared on the floor. It was the 92 tons of black iron essence metal. 92 tons. Daily swallowing 92 tons of black iron essence. The black iron essence from last year's winter is about to be used up. Luo Feng felt the pressure. His life world was like a bottomless pit. Even though it didn't eat much daily, it couldn't withstand the daily swallowing of the black iron essence left behind by the millions of miners. It hadn't even been a year, and it was about to be used up. Today is the day of transformation. Luo Feng extended his right hand. The surrounding space seemed to distort, enveloping the 92 tons of black iron essence. Shwa! The black iron essence vanished. The metal continent, surrounded by large amounts of golden mist. The sky, too, was covered in golden mist. In mid-air, a silhouette suddenly stopped. It was a huge golden-horned beast covered in black scales. The golden-horned beast looked at the pile of black iron essence that suddenly appeared on the metal continent. Its huge, dark golden eyes filled with a sense of glee. Hoo-hoo! The pile of black iron essence. Almost like it had evaporated into a thick golden mist, its size slowly shrinking. The surrounding golden mist got thicker and thicker. About 5 minutes later, the 92 tons of black iron essence had completely disappeared. Rumble, the metal continent shook. The golden mist that covered the sky and land enveloped the entire continent, enveloping the entire metal continent. Large amounts of the golden mist swiftly solidified, becoming a part of the continent, causing the entire continent to grow larger and larger. After an unknown amount of time, everything stopped. The golden mist that enveloped the metal continent dispersed, flying out of the continent, flying into the skies above. Only a ball of golden mist was left within the golden-horned beast's body. The golden-horned beast's body size was constantly increasing. Until it stopped growing, its current body length had already reached 420 m. The entire metal continent had a circumference of 40 kilometers. Its altitude was also 40 kilometers. Only after 40 kilometers in the air would there be golden mist. Black Dragon Ship, Study Room. The golden-horned beast is already a star level 4. Luo Feng opened his eyes, filled with glee. Even though using the black iron essence costs money, the speed is fast. The growth of the internal world. The first 3 levels were the fastest. The middle 3 levels were slightly harder. The last 3 levels were extremely difficult. The last 9 levels, entering a new level. The time it took was the sum of all the previous levels combined. Star level 1 to 3, normal evolution, took 1.5 years to complete. Level 3 to 6, normal evolution, took 6 years. Every level required around 2 years. Level 6 to 9, 36 years. Every level required around 12 years. And from star level 9 to universe level 1, over 50 years. One could only imagine how difficult the last step was. And this was the golden horned beast. If it were any other race, the difficulty was unimaginable. Nighttime. Luo Feng sat in the living room, watching television, accompanying his wife and son. Luo Feng, why didn't you train today? You're accompanying us to watch television. Su Xian hugged her son on her lap, smiling. I'm just accompanying you. I'm preparing to head out tomorrow. This time I'll probably be gone for a while. Luo Feng said. Going out to do something, how long? Su Xian couldn't help but ask. About a month. Luo Feng said. That long? Su Xian was shocked. On Earth today, what other things could make Luo Feng spend so much time? Luo Feng clearly remembered what Babata had told her before. The destination this time was a flourishing and powerful planet 320,000 light years away from Earth. Dragon Star. That was a superplanet that was hundreds and thousands of times more flourishing than the Silver Blue Empire's capital planet. Strong people gathered there. It was a place in the universe where normal people with status and power loved to go. That kind of place was much less barbaric and bloody. It was much safer. Of course, the prerequisite was that you had money and status. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have the right to enter. Dragon Star, Luo Feng muttered within. Luo Feng, going out for a month. Where are you going? Su Xian couldn't help but ask. P.S. 2 chapters completed. I've discovered my monthly votes aren't going up. I'm not sure why. Everyone's monthly votes and recommendation votes. Please support Tomato. Chapter 280. Suddenly leaving home for a month indeed caused his wife and parents to question him. Luo Feng had a huge headache, afraid that his family would worry. He could only lie and say that he was going to a secret location to train. The next morning, Luo Feng was eating breakfast with his family. After finishing this breakfast, he would be leaving Earth, leaving the Milky Way galaxy, heading toward a planet far away from the Milky Way galaxy. Dragon Star. Brother. Luo Hua walked in from outside the door. I heard that you're going out for a month. He didn't even tell me. If my parents didn't tell me, I wouldn't even know. I was going to tell you before I left, said Luo Feng as he drank his porridge. How helpless. Luo Feng didn't plan on directly informing his brother and his 2 brothers Hong and Thunder God, since it would be troublesome to explain. With Luo Feng's current speed, he wouldn't even need a day to circle the Earth. Going out for a month? What for? He said he was going to cultivate in seclusion. Meng Hong and Thunder God, however, were having a hard time. Little hi, ping ping. Luo Feng hugged his 2 children. Daddy, kiss me. His eldest son Luo Ping stretched his little face over and kissed Luo Feng. Beside him, Little Hai also stretched his little face out and pouted. However, his wife Su Xian, parents, and younger brother were all worried. Don't worry. There's no place in the world that can threaten me. However, this seclusion was very important. He could not be disturbed by anyone, and the requirements for the environment were very strict. So I had to go out for a bit. Luo Feng comforted his family. Little XN, when I'm not home, take care of Mom and Dad. If Hong and Thunder God call, tell them that I'm in seclusion and cannot be disturbed. And Su Xian nodded. Then I'm leaving. Luo Feng put the 2 kids on the ground and smiled as he walked out. The whole family, including the 2 children, walked into the courtyard. Goodbye, Dad. The 2 children shouted in a clear voice. Goodbye. Luo Feng smiled and waved, slowly rising into the air. The family members looked up at Luo Feng rising into the sky until he disappeared from their sight. High in the sky, a huge black disc-shaped ship appeared. The cabin door opened and Luo Feng swiftly flew in. The cabin door closed. After that, it quickly broke through the air and flew toward the outer space of Earth. Black Dragon flying ship control room. Luo Feng, dressed in a blood-red battle uniform, stood in front of the control board screen. The demon Babada's little face appeared on the screen. Babada proudly revealed his fangs. Luo Feng, the ship has left Earth. Exterior, 100% simulation, said Luo Feng. Shua. Everything in the control room disappeared. Fortunately, he was standing on the ground, so he could feel the ground. It was invisible to the naked eye. He looked around him. In the boundless starry sky, he turned around and looked behind him. It was a huge blue planet, Earth. Babada, this is my first time leaving Earth and go to another planet with life. I can't help but feel. I can't calm down. Luo Feng couldn't help but say. It's just like when you're taking the college entrance exam. This is called being nervous. On the screen, Babada grabbed an apple and took a few bites. He chuckled. It's not strange. In Chinese, Granny Lu enters the Grandview Garden is the same as a country bumpkin entering the city for the first time. You're going from Earth to a powerful and prosperous planet like Horned Dragon Star. Of course you're nervous. Luo Feng nodded. Actually, the main thing is, a place like Horned Dragon Star, according to Babada, is 100 times more prosperous than the capital of the elementary level civilization, the Silver Blue Empire, which controls 8 galaxies. Luo Feng has never even been to the Silver Blue Empire. Going Horn Dragon Star all of a sudden. How could he not be nervous? Fortunately, as a spirit reader, his awareness is strong, so he quickly adjusted his emotions. Babata, the ship hasn't reached light speed yet? Luo Feng couldn't help but to ask. If it's the Yinmo planet ship, of course it would reach light speed very quickly. However, it's only a C5 grade ship. On the screen, Babata shook his head in disdain. After that, he laughed. Of course, this C5 grade ship is considered a relatively high-class ship in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Universe-level warriors, some can only pilot such ships. The Black Dragon ship's acceleration is not bad. If it were those common ships from the interstellar fleets, then the acceleration would be slow. And some low-class trash ships, when accelerating, cause too much acceleration. They even need the passengers to enter the safety cabin. Otherwise, the passengers might die, said Babata. Luo Feng suddenly realized. That's right, acceleration. Accelerating to light speed. Even if 1 second of acceleration increases by 500 kilometers per second, that's still 50,000 times Earth's gravity. However, within the ship, he didn't feel anything at all. This is the advantage of a high-class ship. This ship has an automatic gravity control system. It can automatically adjust itself, maintaining the ship's internal gravity at a fixed value. Right now, the gravity within the ship is 1 times Earth's gravity. Babata said. Right. Luo Feng was shocked. He had been walking in the ship the same as on Earth. There was no difference in gravity. If Babata didn't mention it, he wouldn't have realized it. Now that Babata said it, Luo Feng realized in the universe, the ship maintaining Earth's gravity, this was something worth noting. Haha, I've been on Earth for too long. I've gotten used to this gravity. I didn't even realize it. Luo Feng laughed. Another 12 seconds, we'll reach light speed. Babata shouted. 10, 9. On the screen, Babata's little face was extremely serious, counting down. 8, 7. Luo Feng looked outside. His naked eye could no longer see the planets clearly. He could only see the surrounding space blur, gradually turning dark. How weird! Luo Feng held his breath. 3, 2, 1. Babata shouted. In the vast starry sky, there was a blurry black spaceship. Suddenly, the space rippled. The ship disappeared. It wasn't because it reached light speed. The naked eye couldn't see it disappear, but it truly disappeared from the universe. Rumble. Luo Feng felt the ship vibrate slightly, vibrating for about 10 seconds. The surroundings were completely dark, after which it calmed down. Universe travel successful. We've entered the dark universe. Babata shouted on the screen, deactivating the exterior simulation. Dark universe? Luo Feng was very curious. Babata, what's the dark universe like? Right now the ship is flying at light speed. There's no way to capture the exterior. Babata said, we need to decelerate to capture it. However, accelerating and decelerating consumes a lot of energy. Luo Feng, I'll directly simulate a few scenes of the dark universe for you to see. Before Luo Feng's eyes, a screen appeared in midair. A beautiful scene appeared on the screen. It was a vast space, and there were only specks of light shining like fireflies. This was an ocean of specks of light. Other than the beautiful specks of light, there was nothing else in this vast space. Oh, there's still the ship. The coordinates of the dark universe and the actual universe we live in correspond. However, in the dark universe, we'll fly a certain distance, for example 30 light seconds, and then travel back to the actual universe. You'll discover the distance you'll travel is 30 light seconds, 10,081,000 times. Babata said, the dark universe and the actual universe, according to the ratio, is 1, 10,081,000 times. Luo Feng was secretly shocked. Flying at light speed in the dark universe for a year was only 1 light year. However, traveling through the universe and returning to the actual universe, that was 10,080,000 light years away. In the actual universe, matter is unable to break through light speed. The moment it reaches light speed, it'll directly travel through the universe, arriving in the dark universe. In the dark universe, however, it can break through light speed. Babata said, right now the ship is slowly accelerating. This black dragon ship's maximum speed is 1.5 times light speed. However, to conserve energy, 1.2 times light speed is just right. Babata said, the estimated time to reach Dragonstar is close to 10 days. Luo Feng, during this period of time, you can rest or train well. The days of flying in the dark universe were very dry and boring. 9 days later. Luo Feng, there's still 20 minutes before we reach Dragonstar. Babata said, right, Babata, from the actual universe to the dark universe, one needs to reach light speed. Then what about returning? From the dark universe to the actual universe, how do we travel? Luo Feng was curious. This vast universe was too mysterious. How could the people of Earth think of what would happen if they reached light speed? As for the theory of reaching light speed, one could go back in time. Luo Feng never agreed. A faraway planet that was 1 million light years away from Earth. Then what the people of Earth saw could be scenes from 1 million years ago. According to some people's deductions, if one exceeded the speed of light and flew towards this planet, they would be able to see the planet's time flow backwards and see the planet's scenes from before. However, from Luo Feng's point of view, what a joke. That planet's time flow backwards was only visible to the naked eye. In fact, in essence, that planet was constantly aging. Very simple, slow down until it stops. Then it will automatically travel back to the actual universe. Babata said, in this dark universe, there's no such thing as static matter. Oh, Luo Feng was shocked. The ship gradually slowed down from 1.2 times the speed of light, all the way until it stopped. Luo Feng felt the ship beneath his feet vibrate slightly. The vibration lasted for about 10 seconds before everything calmed down. Universe travel successful. Return to the actual universe. Babata said, external simulation, 100%. Luo Feng said, Shua. Luo Feng immediately saw the vast space around him. The most special thing was, with a glance, he saw a distant planet that seemed to be glowing with a rainbow light, and around this planet, there were 2 satellites. That planet is Dragonstar. Babata said, Luo Feng, enter Dragonstar and follow our plan. Babata, you said entering the planet requires money. However, I don't have any currency. Luo Feng said, no matter how much money he had on Earth, the Silver Blue Empire, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, how could they recognize his Earth's currency? Here, it was just a useless printed picture. You don't have it, I do. Babata shouted. However, Master's bank card is useless to you. It's bound to a spiritual imprint. However, Master left behind some coins. Those are the coins he always carried with him. Sometimes, coins are also useful. Coins? Luo Feng was stunned. Right, I've carefully searched the entire storage space and found 932 Ganwu dollars. Babata said, $932? Luo Feng blinked twice. So poor. These are Ganwu dollars, not Black Dragon dollars, and definitely not the cheap silver blue dollars. Babata shouted, for you to survive on Dragonstar for a period of time, it's still enough. P.S. Here's the first chapter. Chapter 281. In official places, Ganwu dollars can be exchanged for Black Dragon dollars, and Black Dragon dollars can also be exchanged for silver blue dollar, Babata said. But on the contrary, silver blue coins cannot be exchanged for Black Dragon coins through the officials. The Black Dragon dollar is also unable to be officially converted into Ganwu dollars. Luo Feng nodded. He understood this logic. If Earth were to become part of the universe's human family, and take the universe's currency and place it on Earth, some of the Earth's upper echelons would definitely be willing to exchange. But using USD, Chinese currency, to exchange for the universe's currency? Would the universe countries agree? Of course, you can exchange it on the black market, Babata said. During the conversation, the Black Dragon ship had already accelerated, flying towards the distant Horn Dragon star. Luo Feng stood within the Black Dragon ship's control room. In front of him was the external simulation. He could clearly see the ship approaching Dragonstar, almost touching the atmosphere. Dragonstar's atmosphere was very special. One could even see it clearly with the naked eye. All sorts of colored air masses slowly flowed, making the entire planet look extremely beautiful from the outside. I've received the signal, Babata said, Luo Feng. The ship will follow the signal and arrive at the docking bay. Luo Feng nodded. He had also heard from Babata that when arriving at a planet, it was absolutely impossible to let the spaceship fly around randomly. It had to enter the docking port. Of course, if you were as strong as the master of Yunimo planet, of course you can use force. For a high-level planet like the Horned Dragonstar, only area lords could ignore the traction signal and directly fly into the planet. Of course, the domain master would usually give Horned Dragonstar some face. After all, the master of this Horned Dragonstar was a domain lord. The Black Dragon ship pierced through the atmosphere. Through the external simulation, Luo Feng could see a huge silver city below him. This was an extremely vast docking bay. Within the docking bay, there were large numbers of ships. Some were big and some were small. The small ones were only tens of meters long, some even tens of meters. The long ones were usually large transport ships that were tens of thousands of meters long. Receive the signal. We're going to the C-class zone, Babata said on the control screen. Area is filled with ordinary spaceships and battleships. In the B-class zone, there were B-class spaceships and battleships. In the C-class zone, there were C-class spaceships and battleships. There's even a D-class zone above it, Babata explained. It was a huge docking port. It was divided into a few big regions. In the C-grade region, every spaceship and battleship was incomparably expensive. The Black Dragon flying ship slowly descended and finally landed. The cabin door opened. This planet's gravity is about 3 times that of Earth's. Luo Feng flew out of the cabin door, immediately feeling the change in gravity. Luo Feng turned to look. A man dressed in a gray uniform, about 2.8 m tall, with 2 curved horns on his head, green-skinned strong man flew over, landing in front of Luo Feng. He was humble and courteous. With a smile on his face, he spoke in fluent universe language. Respected sir, welcome to Dragonstar, your Black Dragon Mountain X-81 ship. Parking fee is 600 Black Dragon dollars per year. Less than a year, 600 Black Dragon coins will be charged. This is your parking card. As he said that, he took out a translucent silver card with both hands and handed it to Luo Feng. There is a C symbol on the card. Luo Feng, do you still remember what I said before? Babata had told Luo Feng in detail what to do if he encountered any problems on Dragonstar. Understood. Luo Feng smiled. With a flip of his hand, a coin appeared and he threw it over. Ganwu dollar. The green-skinned man's eyes gleamed. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's official exchange. 1 Ganwu dollar could be exchanged for 1,000 Black Dragon dollars. However, 1,000 Black Dragon dollars couldn't be exchanged for Ganwu dollars. If it was through the black market, it was possible. However, normally, around 1,000 to 2,000 Black Dragon dollars could only be exchanged for 1 Ganwu dollar. And normal citizens didn't even know where the black market was. Ganwu dollar, this was a symbol of status. Riding in a luxurious X-81 ship, using Ganwu dollars, damn, his background must be huge. The green-skinned man was extremely envious. He was a Star Traveler Level 9 fighter. On Dragonstar, he was just a normal citizen. If he could break through to the star level, his status would rise. But even if it was a star-level warrior, when faced with this kind of luxurious C5 grade ship made of pure metal and used Ganwu dollars as currency, they would also feel weak. No need to ask. This was the proof of a big family, a huge background. No need for change. Luo Feng said casually. Thank you, sir. The green-skinned man was extremely respectful. This kind of big family disciple could easily command over 10,000 Star Traveler Level 9 underlings. And at this time, a ship that was completely dyed black and white with a weird pattern descended not even 100 m away from Luo Feng. Similarly, a staff member wearing a gray uniform flew over. The cabin door opened during the descent, and a plump, black-haired youth flew out first. There were 2 purple stripes on his face, and his eyes were squinted, making him look very cute. His height was similar to Luo Feng's. Why? The fat youth flew out. Following behind him were 4 black gorilla-like strong men. The 4 behind him, 3-star level 3s and 1-star level 8. The fat youth is a star traveler level 3. Babata immediately informed Luo Feng. Luo Feng was shocked. The fat youth actually had 4-star level bodyguards under him. It was truly infuriating to compare. Coming to this planet that was even more prosperous than the Silver Blue Empire's capital star, Luo Feng finally got to see a true big family disciple. Damn. The fat youth flew to Luo Feng's Black Dragon ship, caressing the ship's body, his eyes gleaming, screaming, "Damn, this is an old model from over 1,000,000 years ago. Black Dragon Mountain X81. Anyone with this ship would have kept it long ago. And it's a luxury made from pure black yttrium metal to actually see such a ship today. Hi, brother." The fat youth fiercely rushed to Luo Feng, his face full of smiles. "This X81 ship of yours, when you don't want it anymore, how about selling it to me? After 10 years, I'll be able to afford it." "Oh, let me first introduce myself. I'm called Gao Shengwei Di. Just call me Gao Sheng will do." He spoke fluent universe language. "Gao Sheng, this Black Dragon ship, I've gone through many modifications and repairs before I could completely fix it. I can't bear to sell it now." Luo Feng followed Babata's warning from before, speaking very casually. An old model from over 1,000,000 years ago. After being used for over 1,000,000 years, many parts have decayed. Repairing it isn't as easy as buying a new one." "Brother, you're indeed a kindred spirit," Gao Sheng complimented. "This kind of pure metal luxury, driving it out, that's a lot of face." Luo Feng laughed. "In truth, the Black Dragon ship was at the bottom of Earth's ocean. That mothership wreckage had been left untouched for close to 1,000,000 years, hence the decay was minimal." "Brother, you haven't even introduced yourself." The fat youth laughed. "I'm called Luo Feng." Luo Feng smiled. "Brother Luo Feng, you're alone? No bodyguards?" "From here to Dragon City, there's still a distance of a few thousand kilometers. And on Dragon Star, only those within the city are protected. Outside of the city, there's no protection. Along the way, there might be bandits," the fat youth said. Luo Feng laughed. Shua. Beside him, 2 black-clothed liquid silver guards appeared. "Damn, liquid silver guards?" Gao Sheng nodded. 2 liquid silver guards, one to protect, one to tie down the enemy. After the liquid silver guards expand, they can easily wrap around a few hundred people. After the enemy escapes, the other liquid silver guard will come and tie them down. 2 liquid silver guards taking turns, it's incomparably safe. Luo Feng laughed. Back then, the liquid silver guards were able to tie down the golden horned beast, a huge being like that. To tie down humans, they could indeed wrap around a few hundred people. "Brother Luo Feng, if you don't mind, let's go together with my 4 bodyguards here. No one will come and cause trouble." Gao Sheng laughed. "Agree to go with him, there'll be less trouble." Babata said, "Let's go together." Luo Feng smiled and nodded. So. Luo Feng and Gao Sheng rose into the air, the 4 bodyguards following behind. At the same time, Gao Sheng and the 4 bodyguard armor appeared. Luo Feng, too, had his cloud contact armor appear. The group of 6 flew in air. "Luo Feng, how much did you spend on that Black Dragon ship?" Gao Sheng couldn't help but ask. Obviously, as a ship enthusiast, he was infatuated with that ship. "Babata!" Luo Feng shouted within. He didn't know how much to answer. "Tell him I spent $9 billion Black Dragon dollars, $2 billion Black Dragon dollars for the repairs." Babata said, "That much?" Luo Feng was shocked within. The official exchange, 1 Black Dragon dollar could be exchanged for 1,000 silver blue dollars, meaning this ship cost 11 billion Black Dragon dollars, worth 11 trillion silver blue dollars. How can it be much? This is pure black yttrium metal. The entire ship weighs about 2 million tons. Every ton of black yttrium is worth 3,000 Black Dragon dollars, about 3 million silver blue dollars. Just the black yttrium material alone is worth 6 trillion silver blue dollars. Babata said, Luo Feng, don't look at the universe from Earth's perspective. 1 ton of black yttrium is 3,000 black dragon dollars. 1 ton of B-grade black iron essence is only 9 black dragon dollars. A grade black iron? That's even cheaper. Luo Feng realized. It was indeed not expensive. 1 ton of black iron essence was only $9. Black yttrium, 1 ton was $3,000. It was not expensive. This is pure metal. If it were alloys, it would be cheaper. After all, alloys are harder, the effects are better. The same C5 grade ship, if it were alloys, the price would be 1/10 of the price, maybe even lower. Hence, using pure metal to build a ship is considered a luxury. Just like on Earth, using gold to build cars. Luo Feng sighed within. No wonder this Gao Sheng was so shocked. Pure metal was indeed a luxury. If one wasn't extremely rich, they wouldn't be able to afford it. This Black Dragon ship, back then I spent 9 billion Black Dragon dollars to buy it. The modifications and maintenance cost 2 billion. Luo Feng said. Woo. Gao Sheng nodded. Brother, you've earned a little. This old model, it's hard to buy it now. In another 10 years, my father will agree to transfer a planet to my name. There are 11 billion people on the planet, roughly estimating. Each person can earn me 100 calo dollars a year, which is 0.06 Black Dragon dollars. An annual income of over 600 million Black Dragon dollars. With just one planet, getting a loan of 20 billion Black Dragon dollars isn't hard. Luo Feng smiled. Within he was shocked. My God, an entire planet under his name? 11 billion people earning money for him? Luo Feng finally understood the difference between Earth's super rich and the universe's super rich. Earth's assets could be said to have a few houses. This universe is super rich. It could be said to have a few planets. Rich people. At the same time, Luo Feng understood Earth's seabed. The Black Dragon ship's original owner had a huge background. However, his own teacher, the master of the UNMO planet, annihilated the entire interstellar fleet in one move. That person died too. Earth's 1,000 light-year star field was completely taken over by his teacher. Even that important person who died sullenly, his background obviously didn't dare mess with an undying being. Hence, he quietly died. P.S. 2 chapters completed. I wanted to write more realistically about the universe. Don't tell me everyone thinks this isn't good. Chapter 282. So beautiful. Luo Feng looked up at the sky. The sky above was almost like a purple veil. And in the distant horizon, it had become blue. The color of Dragonstar's sky is indeed one of a kind. Gao Sheng also smiled and praised. In some areas, the sky is blue. In some areas, it's purple, green, red, and so on. Moreover, it often changes, especially when the sunlight shines through the atmosphere and shines on the ocean. It's even more beautiful. Dragonstar, it's because of its beautiful scenery that many warriors have been attracted to live here. Slowly, Dragonstar has become even more prosperous. Gao Sheng exclaimed. In this group of people, the slowest flying was Gao Sheng. However, Gao Sheng's feet were stepping on a strange, streamlined platform. His flying speed could reach about 2,000 meters per second. While chatting, they quickly flew over 100 kilometers. Woo! Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, looking at the distant city. This was an extremely beautiful city, roughly equivalent to a city on Earth. Brother Luo Feng, you're envious too? Haha, that's considered a luxurious residence on Dragonstar, a castle with a length and width of 8 kilometers. To be able to buy such a castle, one must be extremely powerful. Gao Sheng's eyes gleamed. Damn, I don't know when I'll be able to afford it. Castle. Luo Feng was shocked. Luo Feng, that's a real estate, a more luxurious one. Similar to your Earth's villas. Babata said, the universe is vast. There are countless planets. Hence, the upper echelons of the universe are used to living in extremely large places. Like your teacher, a planet is his residence. For a flourishing planet like Dragonstar, the land is more expensive, hence, a castle with a length and width of 8 kilometers is considered luxurious. If it were a normal planet, it wouldn't be much. Luo Feng couldn't help but curse within. They weren't even on the same level. The place he lived in was actually a castle with a length and width of 8 kilometers. Luo Feng flew. He saw another castle. In the distance, there was another castle. On the beautiful Dragon Star, having one's own castle was indeed luxurious. After flying for about 10 minutes, Luo Feng gazed downwards. Below was a dense cluster of buildings, many small castles. This is the cheapest residential property on Horn Dragon Star. This kind of manor is only 1 kilometer in length and width. If it was in our Kaluo Empire, even on the Imperial Star, it would be amazing if we could sell it for $1 billion Black Dragon dollars. Gao Sheng cursed in a low voice. But on Horn Dragon Star, even the cheapest manor like this costs more than $10 billion Black Dragon dollars. Luo Feng blinked twice. Over $10 billion Black Dragon dollars? Luo Feng, do you have any property here? Asked Gao Sheng. No, I'm too young. Luo Feng said. Yeah, me too. Gao Sheng nodded. My dad has been cutting down my pocket money. He even gave me a planet 10 years later, after my coming-of-age ceremony. Gao Sheng seemed very dissatisfied. Otherwise, I could have built a manor on the Horn Dragon Star and lived there when I was relaxing. At that time, I will be a resident of Dragon Star. On this Horn Dragon Star, you could do whatever you want. Luo Feng nodded. Before coming here, Babata had told himself that once one became a resident of the Horn Dragon Star, he would receive special treatment. However, according to the price of property here, those who can afford a manor here, or even an even more expensive castle, are probably the royalty of the subordinate countries, low-level civilized countries of the universe, or the children of large families. At the very least, they would be the leader of a planet. Even if they owned a planet, they might not be able to afford the property here. After flying for close to half an hour, Luo Feng finally saw an incomparably huge city in the distance. The entire city's walls were as black as ink, extending to the ends of one's vision. One couldn't even see the end of it. And on top of the city's walls, there were transparent glass engravings. Beautiful glass dragons were entrenched on top of the city's walls. When Luo Feng got closer, he realized that the black as ink walls also had complicated engravings. They were engravings of a single horn dragon. What a huge city! Luo Feng, Gao Sheng, and the others landed on the ground. They raised their heads and looked at the huge city walls, their hearts trembling. Just the height of the black city walls was about 120 m. Including the glass dragon engravings on top of the black city walls, it was at least a few hundred meters. And the entire huge city stretched to the ends of the sky. One couldn't even see the end of it. That vast, ancient aura was shocking. Dragon City, its length and width are close to 6,000 kilometers. This city's history has already been around for over 3 million years. Gao Sheng complimented. It's the same as what Babata told me. Luo Feng realized. Even though Babata had been on Earth for 50,000 years, even after 50,000 years, the changes in the entire universe were very, very small. Whether it was technology, empires, organizations, etc., there weren't many changes. Obviously, to empires that had existed for hundreds of millions of years, 50,000 years indeed, didn't have much of an effect. The huge city gate was close to 1 kilometer wide. People weaved in and out. Luo Feng, Gao Sheng, and the others walked through the gate. I've received the signal. Luo Feng, your communication number in Dragon City is 1928-734-2325. Babata said. The communication number was similar to a phone number, because no matter how powerful the communication device was, it couldn't be used to make a call from so many light years away. Some civilized planets would automatically send a code to every living being that came to the planet's quantum computer. On this planet, one could use the communication device to communicate with each other. And on different planets, there was only one way to communicate. Entering the virtual universe network. Within the virtual universe, one could chat. Luo Feng, what's your communication number? Gao Sheng looked at Luo Feng. Mine is 1928-734-2463. Mine is 1928-734-2325. Luo Feng replied. All right. Gao Sheng laughed. I've just arrived at Dragon City and need to meet an elder. We'll part ways here. I'll inform you tonight. I'll treat you. We'll have dinner together. Gao Sheng was influenced by his father. He liked to make friends. One more friend meant one more path. From his point of view, Luo Feng obviously had some background. All right, then we'll part ways here. Luo Feng laughed. Parting ways with Gao Sheng and the others, Luo Feng walked through the huge city, feeling that it was incomparably beautiful. The surrounding buildings all had different styles. Many of the buildings were indeed beautiful enough to make one's heart tremble. Too interesting. 3 eyes. Ah, this person's mouth and teeth are so interesting. Luo Feng walked on the streets. The streets were bustling with people. At the same time, 100 them up in the air, there were large amounts of people flying. Even though they were called people, their appearances were all extremely strange. In just 5 minutes, Luo Feng saw that the tallest of the people was close to 10 m. The shortest one was like a baby on earth. Their skin colors were all different. Even some of their heads were strangely shaped. However, most of them still had 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth. Just that their faces were either covered in hair or with strange markings, etc. That person is almost like the Buddha from the legends. His entire body is golden. His hair is even more interesting. Luo Feng really felt like he had entered the Grandview Garden. His eyes weren't even enough to see. Star Traveler Level 6, Star Traveler Level 9, Star Traveler Level 3, Star Traveler Level 1, Star Traveler Level 5. Luo Feng relied on Babata, discovering many people's strengths. On the streets of Dragonstar, within the densely packed, endless streams of people, almost all of them were Star Traveler levels. There were even quite a few Star Traveler levels. Any one of them, thrown on Earth, would be an existence surpassing the War God level. Casually looking, one could find people even stronger than Earth's strongest: Hong, Luo Feng, and Thunder God. Luo Feng. I've already called the planet service number to inquire. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's administrative building on this planet is about 200 kilometers away from here. Babata said, according to our plan, the first thing we do upon arriving on Dragonstar is to join the Black Dragon Mountain Empire and obtain citizenship. Let's go. Luo Feng immediately rose into the air, flying 100 m above the ground. Flying people all flew at this height. Star level 7, 8, and 9, I've already seen a bunch of them. How come I haven't seen a single universe level? Luo Feng asked within. Star levels, they're considered important. On normal small planets, they're still rarely seen. However, on a planet like Dragonstar, star levels are more common. As for universe levels, how many are there in the entire Silver Blue Empire? Of course, there are universe levels on Dragonstar. However, to meet one would require luck. While they were talking, Luo Feng saw a huge black dragon entrenched in a tall mountain carving. This was the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's administrative building on Dragonstar. At the entrance of the building, there were 2 bronze-skinned, muscular guards close to 6 m tall. They're liquid silver guards. They really are liquid silver guards. The 2 giant guards immediately stood straight, smiling. As Luo Feng walked to the entrance, they even passionately pushed the door open. Sir, please enter. Babata was right. In the universe, power, status, and status are very important. Luo Feng smiled as he walked into the large hall. Behind him were 2 liquid silver guards dressed in black uniforms. Casually looking at the large hall's functions, Luo Feng quickly found the level he needed to go to. Level 32? Luo Feng immediately walked into the round sofa beside and sat down. The liquid silver guard stood beside. Luo Feng simultaneously said, 32. D. The tray below the round sofa emitted a white light. So, he immediately rushed into the sky. Without a single shake, when he stopped, he had already reached the 32nd level. Sir, how are you? A lady with rabbit ears, beautiful like a fairy from legends, flew over, slightly bowing, smiling. How may I be of service? I want to become a citizen of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Luo Feng smiled. There were many things to do in the universe. Having a citizen's identity was very necessary. Luckily, with Babada's guidance, Luo Feng was able to do many things very smoothly. If it were Hong or Thunder God, entering a planet at a loss, they probably wouldn't know anything at all. Nationality? The lady was shocked. In this day and age, who didn't have a nationality? P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 283. Sir, please head to the left, the second last room in the innermost area, said the receptionist. Thank you. Luo Feng smiled as he finished, bringing the 2 liquid silver guard behind him and heading to the left. The receptionist's eyes flashed, thinking to herself, he actually said thank you to a receptionist like me. Wow, this is the attitude of a true big family's disciple. Even though he has 2 liquid silver guards, he doesn't have any arrogance. Luo Feng looked at the door. There was a label on it. Knock, knock, knock. Luo Feng knocked on the door. Please enter. A powerful voice resounded from within. Luo Feng pushed the door open and entered. Inside was a spacious room with 2 workers, both black-skinned and extremely skinny men, their eyes blood red. One of the 2 casually raised his head, but after seeing the 2 liquid silver guards behind Luo Feng, his face immediately revealed a passionate smile. Sir, how may I be of service? I hope to become a citizen of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, smiled Luo Feng. Low-level civilizations in the universe have the worst citizenship, and middle-level civilizations, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's citizenship isn't bad, at least when he's weak. Luo Feng didn't plan on leaving the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's territory. Once one became a universe-level warrior or even stronger, there wouldn't be much of a difference no matter what nationality one was. Oh, I wonder what nationality you had before? Did you release your original nationality? One of the black men with red pupils smiled. No nationality, said Luo Feng. No nationality? The black man with red pupils was slightly shocked. He couldn't help but to carefully look at Luo Feng, and then at the 2 liquid silver guards behind him. Normal people on a planet, if they haven't reached the Star Traveler level, they won't be able to obtain citizenship. The prerequisite to obtaining citizenship is one has to reach the Star Traveler level. This was also the reason why Luo Feng said during Earth's calamity, even if he left Earth, his wife and children would have to stay on the ship for tens of years until they reached the Star Traveler level. Only then could they enter other planets. Non-citizens, entering some planets, aren't protected by the Empire. If a normal person reaches the Star Traveler level, they can obtain citizenship for the first time. However, the person in front of him had 2 liquid silver guards as bodyguards. Could he be a normal person? He's probably an elite raised by some power, just entering the world for the first time, thought the black man with red pupils. Sir, please stand here and don't move. The black man with red eyes smiled. All right. Luo Feng was very clear on what he wanted to do. The black man with red pupils pressed the device on his arm. Beep. A dreamy light enveloped Luo Feng. Beep beep. The machine emitted a sound. The black man with red eyes looked down at the screen. On it were the words written in the common language of the universe. No such person found. Since Mr. has never been a citizen, many steps can be skipped. The black man with red eyes smiled. Sir, you only need to pay 50 Black Dragon dollars and everything will be settled. On Dragonstar, there are many places that require Black Dragon dollars. Luo Feng flipped his hand and threw out a Ganwu dollar. Help me break it open. Ganwu dollars. The black man with red pupils was elated within, swiftly retrieving a special note that was as thin as a cicada's wing. A small stack of notes passed to Luo Feng. Sir, this is 950 Black Dragon dollars. At the same time, he placed the Ganwu coin into his pocket and took out 50 Black Dragon coins from his pocket and placed them into the coin slot of the device, which was then swallowed by the device. Haha, big bro, it's on us tonight. A black man with slightly bigger eyes shouted. All right. The black man with red pupils was extremely happy, smiling passionately at Luo Feng. Sir, follow me. I'll help you settle all the paperwork. It'll be quick. People like them who worked in government departments had a wide network of contacts. Exchanging the Ganwu dollars for Black Dragon dollars, he could easily exchange for 1,400 black dragon dollars, meaning, with just one change, he'd earned a few hundred black dragon dollars, hundreds of thousands of silver blue dollars. Even if his job was good, this was still equivalent to 1 or 2 months of his salary. After spending about 20 minutes, Luo Feng received his identification. Since then, Luo Feng had left his record in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's citizen system. This note is interesting. Luo Feng complimented. This note's toughness and toughness are very good. On your Earth, a beginner-level war god would have to use his full strength to tear this note. This note can normally be used for 2,000 to 3,000 years. Any more and it'll slowly decay. Babata explained. Oh, Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng was in a good mood. With the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's citizen status, many things could be done. As the saying goes, without status, it's hard to do anything. Babata, where do I open an account in the virtual universe? Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. Virtual universe. Just from the name, one would know that within the virtual universe network, all of the human countries in the universe, the Ganwu universe country, and many other universe country citizens would often be in the virtual universe. In terms of population, it could indeed be said to be innumerable. Too many, too many. It's about 100 kilometers from here. Babata began to give detailed directions. Luo Feng rose into the air. The entire sky above Serpent City. As it was spacious enough, the number of people flying wasn't too high. Luo Feng could maintain a relatively fast flight speed. Babata, just what kind of technology does the virtual universe network have to actually be able to instantly communicate with people from any place in the universe through the network? Luo Feng was very shocked and curious. The universe was incomparably vast. Even with universe travel, some distant places would require hundreds or even thousands of years of dark space flight. However, this virtual universe network actually allowed people to meet and communicate. What technology? What technology does this network use? I don't even know what technology it is. Babata said, this technology, even the Ganwu universe country doesn't have a grasp of it. Only the virtual universe company has it. Every big universe country has a virtual universe company division. This company is definitely very powerful. Luo Feng was shocked. His own teacher, the master of the UNMO planet Hu Yin Bo, even though he received the respect of the Ganwu universe country against a universe country, this kind of incomparably huge high-level civilization, Hu Yin Bo didn't dare to easily mess with them. However, the technology that even the big universe countries couldn't grasp was grasped by the virtual universe company. And this company was still doing so well. Of course, Luo Feng, even though the Ganwu universe country and the other universe countries are all high-level civilizations, their powers are extremely powerful. However, in the universe, the truly powerful aren't the countries. Babata said, it's the seemingly messy, but actually incomparably powerful powers. What powers? Luo Feng was curious. Universe Galaxy Bank, Universe First Bank, Battle Axe Dojo, Universe Mercenary Alliance, Virtual Universe Company. These 5 are the 5 Leviathans of the universe. Babata said, they have an absolute monopoly. These 2 big banks do business with the rich. Even the undying beings normally store their money and treasures in these 2 banks. Babata said, your teacher's wealth is stored in the Universe Galaxy Bank. The 3 accounts he gave you are all from the Universe Galaxy Bank. Luo Feng nodded. The Battle Axe Dojo is the fairest dojo. As for its power, you'll find out in the future. The Universe Mercenary Alliance, this is a loose organization. Over 99% of fighters and spirit readers will join the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Your teacher, back then, was one of them too. These words shocked Luo Feng. Over 99% of fighters and spirit readers would join? Who could compete with them? Luckily, it was a loose organization. Virtual Universe Company. The virtual universe can be said to be humanity's second world. The company that controls this, even the big universe countries can't shake it. How strong do you think it is? Babata exclaimed. Luo Feng understood. In this universe, it seems like the Ganwu universe country and some other universe countries are already the strongest countries. However, the organizations that infiltrate every country are the truly powerful ones. Other than the 5 great leviathans, below them are the universe countries. Of course, there are also some secret powers that are not much different from the universe countries. Babatus said, of course, within the Ganwu universe country's territory. The Ganwu universe country is still very strong. At most, they would give face to the 5 great leviathans. Luo Feng nodded. In the vast universe, looking at it now, even though his teacher was strong back then, but obviously even the Ganwu universe country couldn't afford to offend him, much less the 5 great leviathans. Dragon City, Virtual Universe Company. What can I do for you, sir? A beautiful woman with a furry tail bowed slightly and smiled. She wore a red uniform and had a pretty face. Open an account, Luo Feng said directly. Opening an account. How much is the Virtual Universe Network fee? It's split into 100 years, 1,000 years, and 10,000 years. The yearly network fee is 10 Black Dragon dollars or 0.008 Ganwu dollars. The lady said very fluently. Luo Feng listened. That's black. 10 Black Dragon dollars? That was equivalent to over 10,000 silver blue dollars. Only very few normal people on the planet could afford it, and those who normally use it were mostly star traveler level humans. You guys have consciousness sensing helmets, right? Luo Feng said. On Earth, the helmets the Earthlings made themselves were unable to connect to the Virtual Universe Network. And for a living AI like Babata, there were ways to easily connect. Consciousness sensing helmet. 1 is 10 Black Dragon dollars. The lady's eyes flashed with shock. Right now, those with some status who didn't use an auxiliary quantum computer or even the higher AI quantum computer would use the primitive consciousness sensing helmet. What about anonymous accounts? Luo Feng asked. In the universe, a few planet leaders bought consciousness sensing helmets for their own citizens to use. Usually they were anonymous accounts. However, anonymous accounts usually had a duration of 100 years. After that, they would have to buy a new account. These anonymous accounts had no way of binding the user to the user, meaning anyone could use it at most for 100 years. Anonymous accounts have a fixed duration of 100 years. Each account's price is 2,000 Black Dragon dollars, or 1.6 Ganwu dollars. The lady smiled. Very good. Luo Feng nodded. I need 10 anonymous accounts, 10 consciousness sensing helmets. Opening an account and paying for 100 years is enough. Chapter 284. Today was the second time. With his Black Dragon Empire citizenship, it was easy to open an account. After paying 17 Ganwu coins, everything was settled. Sir, 10 anonymous accounts have been linked to these 10 consciousness sensing helmets. This is your change. Thank you for your patronage. The lady smiled. Luo Feng casually kept the 10 helmets into his space ring. According to Babata's instructions, he could reveal that he had a space ring on Dragon Star. However, he had to make sure that his space ring was 10 m long, wide and tall. He couldn't store anything larger than that. After all, space storage items were separated into different grades. To be able to ride the Black Dragon ship and have liquid silver guards as bodyguards, having a small storage space item was very normal. Of course, a space ring like Luo Feng's that was over 600 m long, 500 m wide, and 100 m tall was definitely a luxury item. If it was found out, he could very well lose his life. On Luo Feng's body, like the Yun Mo planet ship, the Undying's body and weapons were all priceless treasures. The hybrid copper essence shard and the space ring were extremely expensive too. A single hair from a Yun Mo planet master's leg was more powerful than the Dragon Star domain leaders. One could only imagine if Luo Feng, the successor of the Yun Mo planet, dared to reveal his true treasures. The consequences would be terrifying. Dragon Star, a casual restaurant. Even though the restaurant style was different, many things were similar to those on Earth. Even on different planets, humans still had many similarities, like paying attention to privacy, wanting to be respected, etc. Earth's ancient restaurants had private rooms. Earth's modern restaurants still had private rooms. And on this extremely developed horn dragon star, there were also private rooms in the restaurants with high privacy. Of course, the fees were much higher. All right, you can leave. Luo Feng ordered a strange fruit juice and let the waiter leave. Sir, if there's anything, please press this button. The waiter smiled and left, closing the door. Ka! Luo Feng automatically closed the door from the inside, ordering 2 liquid silver guards to protect him. Babata, enter the virtual universe. Luo Feng ordered. Haha, I've been waiting for this day. Babata was extremely excited. The moment he opened the account, he wanted to enter the virtual universe. However, the moment he entered, his consciousness had to leave his body. Even though Luo Feng could multitask, he still didn't have the ability to split his consciousness. Hence, he had to find a safe place. Connecting to the virtual universe, a low and vast voice resounded within Luo Feng's consciousness. Luo Feng's consciousness was a patch of darkness. This was an ancient city, and the streets were paved with large pieces of cut rocks. Although the passers-by on the streets looked strange, with different heights and races, most of them were wearing plain gray clothes, and each of them had a small elf on their shoulder. Shua! A person suddenly appeared in the stream of people on the street. It was Luo Feng. Luo Feng was dressed in a plain gray robe. On his shoulder sat a fist-sized demon Babata. Babata was also dressed in the same green robe. He was extremely cute, like a little elf. This is the virtual universe network. Luo Feng stood on the street, looking at the flow of people on the street, stunned. Of course, Babata's voice resounded within Luo Feng's mind. We are currently in the virtual universe's Ganwu continent, on a Black Dragon Mountain Island. Island? Luo Feng blinked. Everyone within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's territory that is connected to the virtual universe network will immediately appear on the Black Dragon Mountain Island. Babata said, even though it's an island, the Black Dragon Mountain starfield has over 8,000 galaxies. Countless planets have a large amount of people online. Hence, the area of this island is bigger than any planet in the real universe. Luo Feng was extremely shocked. Anyone who enters the virtual universe will have a virtual assistant. Babata said, it's the little elf on everyone's shoulder. The level of intelligence of the virtual assistant depends on whether the user is using a sensor helmet, an assistant quantum computer, an AI quantum computer, or a living AI. Like the little elf formed from the sensor helmet, it doesn't even think, it can only give simple answers. If you order it, it will do it. Babata explained. Luo Feng nodded. In the virtual universe, you can chat with your friends from afar. You can also spend money to teleport and meet in the virtual universe. Babata explained. Also, things like stocks and futures can be used in the virtual universe. You can connect it to your bank account. You can learn martial arts here. You can buy and sell goods here. You can play virtual games. This is a 100% simulation of virtual games. It's exactly the same as reality. There are many types of virtual games. It can be said, as long as you can't think of it, there's nothing the game providers can't do. Games, good food, beautiful women, finance, trading, sparring, learning, there's everything. Babata said, the virtual universe is an incomparably large market compared to any planet. All the elites of the universe are gathered here. Things that can't be done in reality can be done here. Some people treat virtual games as reality, playing for hundreds or even thousands of years, marrying and having children in the game. Of course, the prerequisite is you have money to play. After all, most of the players in virtual games pay money. Those who earn money are few and far between. Luo Feng was extremely shocked. It was too vast. Compared to the real universe, the virtual universe was incomparably prosperous and attractive. However, virtual is still virtual. Babata said seriously. No matter how long you stay in the virtual universe, you won't be able to train your body. The virtual universe, to the strong, is just a convenient channel. You can use it to get to know and interact with other strong people who have the same goals. You can buy and sell many things that you can't buy on your own. And if you spend all your time in the virtual universe, or even play virtual games, unless you have no pressure, no ambition, and money to squander, Otherwise, you'll end up in tragedy. Babata emphasized. He was very clear on the allure of virtual games. Hence, he had to remind Luo Feng. Of course, if you play some interactive training games or solo training games, similar to Earth's Tower of Trials, that's possible. Babata added, Tower of Trials? Luo Feng was speechless. Was that a game? It was purely training. Babata, go check. The metal combination the Golden Horned Beast needs, and the metal combination for deities of the world. Luo Feng's thoughts said. Within the virtual universe, communicating with Babata's thoughts was still very safe. The virtual universe company claimed that they definitely wouldn't monitor anyone's information and definitely wouldn't leak anyone's information. These two absolutes were the foundations of the virtual universe company. Luo Feng, the star-level Golden Horned Beast swallowing metal. The best metal combination is 325B grade pure metal combinations. It can increase the internal world's growth speed by 89 times. I've already gathered information on these 325 metals. They can be sold even in the universe. Babata quickly gathered all the information he needed. How is it? Roughly how much does it cost? Luo Feng asked. 89 times. From star level 1 to universe level 1. The slowest was 100 years. The moment one used the swallowing metal combination, just a little bit a year would allow one to step into the universe level. Universe level, on a planet like Dragonstar, was considered a big figure. In the Milky Way galaxy, one's words carried enormous weight. 1 year's worth would require more than 60 billion black dragon dollars. Babata said, why so much? A ton of B-grade black iron essence. Isn't it only 9 black dragon dollars? Even though it's a metal combination, it's even more powerful when eaten. But a few 100,000 tons a year is at most. How could it be over 60 billion? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. A few 100,000 tons of black iron essence was only worth a few million black dragon dollars. Luo Feng, your thinking is wrong. Even though a grade metal is cheaper than B-grade metal, B-grade is cheaper than C-grade. C-grade is cheaper than D-grade. This is a rather normal situation. However, there are still some very special metals. Babata said, for example, the C-grade metal, liquid silver, is used to create the liquid silver guards. One liquid silver guard uses about a ton of liquid silver. A ton of C-grade black yttrium is only 3,000 black dragon dollars. However, one liquid silver guard, do you know how much it costs? Babata asked. Luo Feng was stunned. Right, Gao Sheng and the other officials, their reactions when they saw the liquid silver guards, it was obvious they were very expensive. Otherwise, they wouldn't care so much. One liquid silver guard's price is 280 million black dragon dollars. A ton of liquid silver metal costs 160 million black dragon dollars. Compared to the C-grade black yttrium, it's much more expensive. Babata said, it's because liquid silver metal is special and rare. That's why it's so expensive. Much more expensive than many D-grade metals. And your internal world's growth requires 325 different B-grade metal combinations. 3 of them have the space attribute. They're the main materials for creating space items. Hence, it's more expensive, plus your amount is too large. Babata explained. Luo Feng laughed helplessly. That was the main material for creating space rings and other items. How could it be cheap? And he had to swallow up to 100 tons a day in a year? 60 billion black dragon dollars. That wasn't expensive. But he had no money. 900 Ganwu dollars, that was equivalent to 900,000 black dragon dollars. Compared to 60 billion, this huge number was too far. Of course, there are other metal combinations that are much cheaper, but they still aren't something you can afford. Babata said, for example, there's a metal combination that costs 10 billion a year, increases your training speed by 39 times. There's also one that costs 3 billion a year, increases your training speed by 20 times. There's also one that costs 100 million a year, increases your training speed by 5 times. The Golden Horned Beast found trouble with metals. However, as a human, finding metals was much easier. In the virtual universe, how many things couldn't be bought? However, he had to spend money. The Golden Horned Beast has a huge appetite every day it eats tons and tons. Luo Feng's heart ached. As for deities of the world's metal combinations, they're even more expensive for now. Don't even think about it. Babata said directly. Luo Feng threw all these to the back of his mind, asking the second important question. Babata, if I want Earth to be under my name, I'll become the leader of Earth. What are the conditions? To prevent people from other planets from selling Earth and turning the people of Earth into slaves, the best way is to become the leader of Earth himself, to be recognized by the Empire's laws. Of course, no one can steal a planet with an owner. Become the leader of Earth? Let me see. Babata blinked. Chapter 285. Found it. Babata's search speed was extremely fast. What are the conditions? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Exploring the universe and discovering a new planet, or discovering a planet without a leader. There are 3 choices. Babata said. The first choice is to tell the Empire and receive the Empire's reward. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire will reward you according to the planet. The lowest is 10 billion Black Dragon dollars. The highest is 100 billion Black Dragon dollars. Of course, the first choice, you cannot become Earth's leader. The second choice is to directly buy the planet. As you are the one who discovered it, you will need to spend very little money to buy it. According to the planet's level, you'll need to pay at least 300 billion Black Dragon dollars. The highest is 3 trillion Black Dragon dollars. Luo Feng took in a deep cold breath. It was too expensive. However, Luo Feng was clear, the buying and selling of a planet, the price was ridiculous. After all, owning a life planet was equivalent to owning a cornucopia, and a planet's lifespan was usually very, very long. With hundreds of millions of years as the unit of measurement, it could definitely be used as a family treasure. Of course, because a human's lifespan was limited. Hence, the buying and selling price of a planet was usually in the trillions of Black Dragon dollars. The third choice is to cooperate with the Empire to manage the planet. You only need to pay at least 100 billion, the highest 1 trillion Black Dragon dollars. Babata said, this cooperation, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire will not interfere with the internal management of the planet. They will only collect the import and export taxes. They won't care about anything else. The second and third choices are both ways to become Earth's leader. Luo Feng listened and nodded. A planet's best way to earn money was through import and export taxes. A planet in the universe, if it didn't have any connections with the outside world, how would it earn universe currency? I don't care about the taxes. I can cooperate with the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. However, I have no money. Luo Feng was helpless. It's not just money. You have no way to apply for Earth to become your territory. Babata said. Why? Luo Feng was curious. How do you apply? Back then, your teacher, Hu Yinbo's body traveled through the universe and entered the dark universe. Using space techniques, he covered the universe coordinates of close to 1,000 light years around Earth. Other ships have no way of finding these coordinates. Naturally, they can't travel through the universe to reach Earth. Babata said, normal ships can only rely on flying close to 1,000 light years away, flying for close to 1,000 years before reaching Earth. Don't tell me when you applied to become Earth's leader, you said, we flew close to 1,000 years and discovered this planet? First of all, a planet discovered after flying for nearly 1,000 years is worthless. No one is willing to spend so much time on trade. Secondly, as long as they are not stupid, they might suspect that you are the descendant of Yun Mo planet, unless someone can decipher your teacher's spatial secret technique. In other words, unless a new wormhole is suddenly discovered in the surrounding star field, Earth will still be safe for the time being. Dragonstar, in a private room of a restaurant. His consciousness returned to reality. At least right now, Earth is still safe. Luo Feng smiled, picking up the fruit juice beside him and drinking. HM? Luo Feng squinted, creasing his eyebrows. This tastes a very strange smell. The moment he drank it, goosebumps rose all over his body. However, when he tasted it carefully, he found that the taste was truly unique. It had a unique flavor. Woo! It's our first time drinking this stuff, one more. Luo Feng laughed happily. Buzz, the arm guard on his arm, vibrated slightly. On Horn Dragon Star, only Gao Sheng had his own communication number. Haha, Luo Feng, my business is done. Let's eat together. Gao Sheng shouted. Where? Luo Feng laughed. North District of Horn Dragon City. Not far from the slave market, there's a pretty good place to eat. It's called the 100 Flavors Restaurant. Gao Sheng said. All right, I'll be there within half an hour. Luo Feng ended the call, raising his head and finishing his first foreign planet fruit juice in one gulp. Smacking his lips twice, he headed out. Milky Way Earth. The sun was resplendent, shining down on the waves of the ocean below. In the air above the ocean, two silhouettes flew side by side, heading towards the Sahara Desert. It was Hong and Thunder God. That third brat actually didn't say anything and just slipped away. Thunder God was fuming. Third brother has to leave for a month. He probably has something important to do. Hong said calmly. How can a man not have his own secrets? When he returns, if he's willing to tell us, he'll tell us. When that time comes, I'll definitely use alcohol to force him to drink. Thunder God gritted his teeth. Hong and Thunder God chatted as they flew. Life on Earth was indeed extremely leisurely. Ever since the swallowing monster incident, Hong, Thunder God, and Luo Feng, these three warriors had made humanity stronger than ever. And the two great emperors of the sea monsters had all died, causing the threat level to drop to its lowest. Earth was peaceful. These peaceful days had already lasted for over 2 years. The people of Earth didn't know, in a star field not too far away from Earth, a universe explorer ship with shocking speed was heading straight towards Earth. 320,000 light years away from Earth, Dragon Star. Dragon Star North District, 100 Flavors Restaurant, 2nd level. Over here, over here. A voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look. Gao Sheng stood up and waved. Luo Feng immediately smiled and walked over. Brother Gao Sheng, you seem to be in a good mood. Luo Feng sat down. Of course I'm in a good mood. Gao Sheng's small eyes shone. He then smiled and proudly said, I'll tell you later. I'll order first. This 100 Flavors restaurant has several famous dishes. Gao Sheng slightly waved his hand after saying this. Suddenly, a beautiful and enchanting woman with blue hair came over. Luo Feng looked over. Luo Feng was shocked. This jade-haired woman was beautiful. What shocked Luo Feng the most was her strength wasn't even at the Star Traveler level. On Dragon Star, most of the people on the streets were Star Traveler levels, a few star levels. The restaurant I went to before to drink fruit juice, the waiters were all normal people. I didn't expect this restaurant to be the same. However, the Virtual Universe Company and the government's employees are all Star Traveler level. Luo Feng thought about it and understood the salaries of normal people were cheap. Maybe they didn't even need a salary. Luo Feng, that woman from before wasn't bad, right? The Dream Shell Clan women are all beautiful. Gao Sheng blinked. If you like her, take her away, just tell the boss. Take her away? Luo Feng was shocked. A beautiful woman who isn't even a Star Traveler level. Her fate is usually very tragic. Gao Sheng exclaimed, she's not even a citizen. There's no law to protect her. Anyone with a bit of power can kill her whenever he wants, snatch her away whenever he wants. Just grab her and she can be sold as a slave. If she could be like Brother Luo Feng, it would be her fortune. Luo Feng was shocked within. Kill her whenever he wanted? Capture her whenever he wanted? Become a slave? Even though Babata had said long ago that those below the Star Traveler level had tragic fates in the universe, the normal people mostly lived on the mother planet. They didn't even have the qualifications to buy a ship ticket. However, hearing Gao Sheng's words and seeing the beautiful Dream Shell Clan woman beside him, who actually had such a fate, he felt even more emotional. Look, she's peeking you, Brother Luo Feng. Gao Sheng teased. Luo Feng's gaze swept. Immediately, he saw the Dream Shell Clan lady peeking over from the corner of the restaurant. She had obviously heard Gao Sheng's words, hence she peeked over, being discovered by Luo Feng. Her face flushed red, and she ran into the kitchen. Exquisite dishes were served one by one. It was indeed delicious, incomparably delicious. Today I want to meet an elder. Huh? He really gave me too much face. He actually agreed to let me follow him for a few years and learn well. Gao Sheng was beaming with joy. That elder of mine, he's a big shot in the energy business. Following him, 1, I can learn experience. 2, I can also build connections. Luo Feng was shocked within. Energy business? In the universe, the various planets traded with each other. They relied on ships, transport ships, etc. However, for ships and battleships to fly, they required energy. Even undying realm experts needed energy, whether it was on Earth or in the universe. The energy business had always been an extremely profitable business with extremely high entry requirements, much higher than the slave trade. No matter, without connections, even if you had money, you wouldn't be able to enter. This Gao Sheng, his background isn't simple. Luo Feng thought. When his son matured, he gave him a planet. And now Gao Sheng was slowly entering the energy business. Luo Feng, when are you leaving? Looks like I'll have to stay on Dragonstar for a few years. Gao Sheng said. Very soon, I might have to return today. Luo Feng said. Coming to Dragonstar, his main matters were pretty much done. According to what Babata said, there was only one thing left to go to the Ganwu Dojo to sign up. After signing up, he could leave Dragonstar. That fast. Gao Sheng was a little regretful. What's your virtual universe number? When we brothers have time, we'll have some fun. All right. Luckily, the moment he opened the account, Luo Feng told his virtual universe number to Gao Sheng. Gao Sheng also told his number to Luo Feng. From now on, even if the two were separated by tens of millions of light years, they could still communicate through the virtual universe. In the dining hall, Luo Feng and Gao Sheng were chatting. Suddenly, 3 youths walked up the stairs. All of them were close to 2 m tall, silver hair flowing, their pupils a soul-stirring blue. The 3 of them were dressed in black uniforms. The one in the middle had a metal-like colored pendant on his left chest. Luo Feng, look, these 3 Ganwu Dojo students, the one in the middle is a resident of Dragonstar. He has his own property here. Gao Sheng said softly. Luo Feng looked. That black uniform was the Ganwu Dojo's uniform, training uniform. That medal was the identification of a Dragonstar resident. With this medal, it was the safest protection on Dragonstar. Wei Lin, just lend me your spirit weapon to play with for half a day. Of the 3 students, the one on the left said, I just bought it for myself. The student in the middle with the medal flipped his hand, and in his hand appeared a strange metal plate that seemed to be formed from an axe blade. On the plate were strange engravings. This is a level 2 spirit weapon of the highest quality. I begged my family for a long time before I got my bank card. If I'm unable to reach the universe level, this spirit weapon will accompany me for the rest of my life. 6 billion black dragon dollars. That's enough to buy a few C-grade ships. The moment I swipe my card, I'll feel the pinch. That student purposely shouted, causing many people in the dining hall to look over. 6 billion black dragon dollars? Top quality level 2 spirit weapon? Top quality spirit weapon. The 2 students' eyes gleamed. I won't even dare to think about it in this lifetime. A spirit reader. Only with a spirit weapon can he unleash his full power. However, the manufacturing process of a spirit weapon was extremely complicated, hence its price was very high. Much less this top quality level 2 spirit weapon. The student called Wei Lin, as though he was caressing a woman's skin, gently stroking the spirit weapon in his hands, his gaze intense. At the distant table, Luo Feng and Gao Sheng looked over. Spirit weapon? Luo Feng was slightly startled, asking within, Babata, my soaring shuttle and arc cutter blade. What grade of spirit weapon are they? Update complete. At the same time, Tomato tore open his clothes, revealing his upper body, shouting loudly, I want monthly votes. Chapter 286. Luo Feng. Spirit weapons are split into normal, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normal ones have almost no amplification effect. Their prices are extremely cheap. Level 1 spirit weapons can unleash a star-level spirit reader's full power. Level 2 spirit weapons are enough for a star-level spirit reader to use, level 5, are for sector lords. Babata said, your arc cutter blade and soaring shuttle can both be used up to the universe level, hence they are both level 3 spirit weapons. Level 3? Luo Feng was overjoyed within. This young man who came to the restaurant's second floor. That level 2 spirit weapon was already so expensive. His own 2 weapons were probably even more expensive. A weapon, the easier it is to use, the more expensive it is. Babata said, for example, Luo Feng, your soaring shuttle's second form requires an amplification of 30 before it can be used. Because you have the golden horned beast body, that's why your consciousness is so strong. And normally only a star level 5 or 6 can reach this requirement. Especially the third form is even more insane, an amplification of 48, universe level, with a domain. It has 3 requirements. Babata said. Luo Feng was stunned. Same level 2 spirit weapon. If one requires an amplification of 30, the other requires 20 to unleash the same power. Which do you think is more expensive? Babata asked. Oh, Luo Feng nodded. Hence, this young man called Wei Lin. His weapon is extremely easy to use. Hence, it's called a level 2 high quality. Your soaring shuttle's requirements are too high. Hence, it's a level 3 low quality. Your arc cutter blade's requirements are slightly lower. It's a level 3 middle quality. If you buy the soaring shuttle from a weapon shop, it's about 5 billion Black Dragon dollars. And the arc cutter blade, it's about 20 billion. Babata explained. The difference is that huge? Luo Feng was shocked. He felt that the 2 weapons' power was about the same. The price difference was shocking. Of course, the difference is huge. A weapon, other universe level 1 can use it, but yours, you have to wait until the universe level 7 or 8 to use it. How can it be the same? Babata asked. Luo Feng understood a little. Level 3 high quality, that's 100 billion. Level 3 high quality, that's about 500 billion. Babata said casually. To a universe-level warrior, spending hundreds of billions to buy a good weapon is very normal. To the strong, the most important things are weapons, battle suits, secret techniques, and then the flying ship. A universe-level warrior, joining an empire, could easily obtain over 10 planets as his territory. Such an expert indeed wouldn't care too much about a few hundred billion. Second floor of the restaurant. Many customers were distracted by the conversation between the 3 young men. 6 billion. That was an astronomical figure, even for a star state. As long as my telekinesis amplitude reaches 18, I will be able to unleash its second stage power. The young man called Wei Lin slightly waved the strange golden disc in his hand proudly. Whoosh, the golden disc instantly flew up and flew in the corridor on the second floor of the restaurant. Wei Lin was very proud of himself. Who? The golden disc flew past the waitresses, scaring them. Don't be afraid. My control is very strong. Wei Lin was extremely pleased with himself. What exquisite control. The 2 students at the side also flattered. Just as she walked out of the kitchen with the tray in her hands, she saw a blue-haired waitress charging at her with a golden light. She was so frightened that her hands trembled, causing the tray to spill. The sauce of the dish just so happened to spill on the golden round plate that was doing an exquisite circling flight beside her, causing the golden round plate to become dirty right away. My spirit weapon. Wei Lin's expression changed, screaming. Who? The golden disc landed in front of him. Looking at the black sauce on the disc, Wei Lin was so angry his entire body was trembling. Just like on Earth, when a car lover just bought a new car, only to have food splashed on it. That feeling of anger. This spirit weapon was many times more expensive than a car. After spending 6 billion Black Dragon dollars in Wei Lin's heart, this spirit weapon was even more important than his girlfriend. To actually be splashed with sauce on the first day? Bastard. Wei Lin's gaze swept across the jade-haired waitress, gritting his teeth. Bitch, go and die. Rumble. The golden disc became a golden beam of light, flying straight towards the waitress. No. The waitress's face was filled with fear. She couldn't even dodge in time. Who? Waves of formless and strong spirit energy like dense vines, swiftly coiled around the golden disk, causing the golden light to fly in an arc, crashing into the wall beside. Rumble, the wall that could withstand a star-level warrior's attack, had a dent in it, but the window immediately exploded and flew out. One of the window frames swept across the waitress's arm, causing it to break, fresh blood staining the floor. "Sir, stop." A silhouette appeared at the side. It was the restaurant manager. Who? Who blocked me?" Wei Lin roared in anger, looking around. "Sir," the restaurant manager shouted. "Who the hell are you?" Wei Lin pointed at the restaurant manager. "Didn't you see? Your people dirted my spirit weapon. Do you know what weapon this is? How much it's worth? 6 billion black dragon dollars. Even if you sold your entire restaurant, you wouldn't be able to afford it. You actually dirted my spirit weapon." The restaurant manager was already a star level. Hearing the 6 billion number, his face turned ugly. "Sir, I'm sorry." The restaurant manager turned around, his cold gaze sweeping across the waitress, not caring about the broken arm waitress at all. Who? Who dirted the customer's weapon? Being stared at by the restaurant manager. The jade-haired waitress was filled with fear. She was very clear on how strong the restaurant manager was. In her hometown, a star-level warrior was already a demon king, an unrivaled and powerful being. And on Horn Dragon Star, where powerful beings were everywhere, their restaurant manager was a star-level warrior. "It's her." Wei Lin pointed at the jade-haired waitress. "Sir, she's yours now. You can do whatever you want with her." The restaurant manager smiled at Wei Lin. "Sir, everything you spend here today is free." Who interfered just now? Wei Lin's gaze swept across every customer. Which spirit reader? What? You had the guts to be a hero, saving a damsel in distress, but now you don't have the guts to admit it. Bastard, come out. Come out. As a resident of Dragonstar, they had the safest protection. Even a universe-level warrior wouldn't dare kill a resident of Dragonstar. This was the privilege of a resident. Hence, Wei Lin was so unbridled. Who? You don't dare admit it? Wei Lin's gaze swept across every single person. Bastard, what are you shouting for? A cold voice resounded. Wei Lin immediately looked over. The one who spoke was the calm and relaxed black-haired youth with the liquid silver guards standing behind him. The entire restaurant was silent. With one look, it was obvious this was a big family's fight, hence most people kept quiet. "Oh, who are you?" Wei Lin carefully examined Luo Feng. Luo Feng couldn't be bothered with Wei Lin's background. "No matter how big your background is, I'll leave soon and return to Earth. Earth's dark universe coordinates were hidden by my teacher's space technique. Even an undying warrior would have a hard time breaking it. Once I return to Earth, even if you're the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's crown prince, you won't be able to do anything to me." "Ha, brother, I just said you like this lady. You still won't admit it?" Gao Sheng laughed from the side. "No, I just can't bear to see this place spilled with blood." Luo Feng laughed. Wei Lin saw that the other two didn't even look at him. Instead, chatting amongst themselves, he couldn't help but feel even more frustrated. The star-level restaurant manager was extremely embarrassed. On a normal planet, a star level was an invincible warrior. However, on Dragonstar, where fish and dragons mixed together, he had to be extremely careful. Didn't he see they were using 6 billion spirit weapons? Didn't he see on the other side, the 4 bodyguards standing behind him were all star levels? And 2 liquid silver guards? Neither side was easy to mess with. "I say, brother." Gao Sheng glanced at Wei Lin. "Is there a need to bother with a pitiful little lady who hasn't even reached the Star Traveler level? You're losing points." "And who are you?" Wei Lin looked at Gao Sheng. "Gao Sheng, Emperor Wei." Gao Sheng said casually. "Emperor Wei?" Wei Lin creased his eyebrows, turning to look at Luo Feng. "You still haven't told me your identity." "Just a spirit reader." Luo Feng waved his hand. Who? Who? 2 golden beams of light flew around. This scene made the restaurant manager break out in cold sweat. Damn, 2 spirit weapons? The group of customers on the restaurant's second floor all had gleaming eyes. To them, Dragonstar was a planet even more prosperous than the Imperial Capital Star. Coming here was just for sightseeing. Coming to Dragonstar, It was indeed an eye-opener. Wei Lin squinted with his vision. One look, and he could tell that these two spirit weapons weren't any weaker than his. Emperor Wei. Emperor Wei? Don't tell me. It's the legendary Emperor Wei. Family? Wei Lin gritted his teeth, not making a sound, not leaving any pleasantries. He turned and left. The other two students followed him and left. Haha, interesting, interesting. Gao Sheng laughed. I didn't expect to encounter such a thing on my first visit to Dragonstar. My actions earlier, did I bring trouble to Brother Gao Sheng? Luo Feng was a little embarrassed. He just patted his, but in return to Earth. However, this Gao Sheng said he would be back in the next few years. No problem, just a little brat. Gao Sheng laughed. On this Dragonstar, there's no one I can't afford to offend. Damn. Luo Feng laughed involuntarily. Those words were awesome. However, Luo Feng didn't know. The children of the family, the coming-of-age ceremony to receive a planet, such treatment was shocking. If he really understood, he would understand the power of Gao Sheng's family. Manager, Gao Sheng shouted. Sir. The restaurant manager ran to one side. He had heard it before. There was no one on Dragonstar that they couldn't afford to offend. Who would dare to say such a thing? Even the Emperor of the Silver Blue Empire wouldn't dare say such a thing. Unless it was someone from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, or someone even more powerful. That waitress will follow me later. Gao Sheng said. Yes, sir. The restaurant manager smiled. It's her honor. Gao Sheng nodded. The restaurant manager left and went downstairs. Luo Feng smiled at Gao Sheng. You've taken a liking to her? No. Gao Sheng's chubby face was full of smiles. After this incident, this restaurant definitely wouldn't dare keep this waitress. They'll throw her into the slave market. When that time comes, her fate will definitely be tragic. This person, just can't see beautiful women suffering. Anyway, I just want a few servants on Dragonstar. I'll just take them. Right? If you like her, you can take her. Luo Feng laughed. I'm a vagabond. I'll follow you. Vagabond? Are you training or something? Oh, forget I asked. Right after we've finished eating, how about we make a trip to the slave market? Getting a few slaves to be servants and bodyguards. That's not a bad idea. Gao Sheng suggested. Slave market? Luo Feng nodded. All right. Chapter 287. 2-star traveler youths, 4-star level bodyguards, and 2 liquid silver guards. 1 Dream Shell clan servant. This was Luo Feng's little team. Even though the star level is considered a powerful warrior, the universe level is the true tyrant. The tyrant of a galaxy. Luo Feng thought as he walked. When my golden horned beast reaches the universe level, that's when I'll have enough power. However, the golden horned beast swallows metals. I need large amounts of money to buy them. Money, money, money. Why don't I sell the arc cutter blade? Luo Feng pondered. He had the soaring shuttle and the arc cutter blade. He only needed 1 spirit weapon for normal battles. What's more, he had his ultimate weapon, the hybrid copper essence shard. Should I sell the arc cutter blade? Luo Feng struggled within. Luo Feng, there's a treasure shop in front. There are all sorts of special treasures, all sorts of random things. The only thing they have in common is that they're all treasures. Hence, they're all very expensive. Let's go take a look first. The slave market isn't far from here anyway. Gao Sheng laughed and shouted. Treasure shop? Luo Feng curiously followed Gao Sheng into the treasure shop. This treasure shop took up a huge amount of space, comparable to Earth's large plazas. Within the shop, there were battle uniforms, tamed beasts, spirit weapons, special fruits, robots, etc., all sorts of random things. They all had holograms, all of them extremely expensive. This treasure shop can't compare to spirit weapons, robots, and other shops that have a full range of goods. However, its power lies in its complexity. Gao Sheng complimented. Brother, you take a look first. I'll take a good look and play with it. Luo Feng looked at the holograms one by one. Looking at the prices, expensive. Too expensive. There's even a cloud contact vine seed. The amethyst fruit, that's sick. Luo Feng's expression was calm. However, his heart was in turmoil. Even if he were to sell Earth, this shop still wouldn't be able to afford it. Luo Feng suddenly saw a small piece of metal. From his memories, It was an extremely important metal for training in deities of the world. That's it. The first level of deities of the world. This metal was the most important. Price, translated to Earth's units. 1 gram is 200 black dragon dollars. Luo Feng stared. Using grams as a unit? With the golden horn beast body size, when it eats, it would be measured in tons. Luo Feng felt a sense of powerlessness. In the universe, this metal was sold by the gram. Just like on Earth, gold was sold by the gram. Even the richest man on Earth would be dumbfounded if a pet suddenly had to eat tons of gold every day. It was the same principle. 1 gram is 200 black dragon coins. 1 ton, that's 200 million black dragon dollars. Luo Feng blinked. The golden horned beast trains in deities of the world. It eats about a ton every day that year. An astronomical number, a series of numbers floated through Luo Feng's mind. No wonder generations after generations of golden horned beasts only managed to complete the first level of deities of the world. Brother Luo Feng, what are you looking at? Gao Sheng walked over and looked. Memory, attributed metal? This kind of metal is good stuff. If you mix a little of it into a weapon, it will automatically recover from damage. There were many types of memory metals. They were all calculated by the gram. Expensive. I'm going out to get some fresh air. Luo Feng got more and more angry and helpless as he looked. In the vast universe, there were many treasures. Things that strengthen one's strength. Things that strengthen one's soul. There were many. Don't be afraid of not having treasures. Just afraid of not having enough money to buy them. With enough wealth, buying a planet was extremely easy. Making trillions of people your slaves was also very simple. I'm not looking either. I don't have money to buy them. Let's go. Let's go to the slave market. Gao Sheng said helplessly. The slave market took up an area of over 300 kilometers. If it was on Earth, it would definitely be a gigantic city. However, on Dragonstar, it was only a small part of Dragon City. The slave market was filled with people. This was the largest slave market in the surrounding 100 galaxies. These Iron Luo people are all very strong. Even though they don't know how to train and are a bit dumb, they are all comparable to a student level 9 fighter. Each one only costs 20 black dragon dollars. If you buy a lot, you can even get a discount. Outside the huge slave market, there were even people helping to attract customers, enthusiastically introducing. Luo Feng was a bit speechless. Student level 9? Isn't that the same as Earth's advanced level war gods? 20 black dragon dollars for one? Spending 100 million. Doesn't that mean you can buy 5 million advanced level war gods? Star Traveler level and below can't become citizens. Hence the prices are very low. Gao Sheng said as he walked. Star Traveler level and below, unless they are absolute beauties or have some special characteristics, they usually cost around 10 black dragon dollars. Look over there, they're all beauties. In the distance, a group of incomparably beautiful women of all races, some with fair skin, some with furry tails, some with cat ears, some looking like Earth's people. Every single one of them, if placed on Earth, would be devastatingly beautiful. Each one is 5,000 black dragon dollars. They're all top-grade beauties. If you buy more, you can even get a discount. Beside, a beautiful lady shouted, "HM?" Luo Feng looked at the other plaza. The strong energy of the strong was wantonly emitting. Many Star Traveler level 6 and 7, even level 8 and 9 fighters and spirit readers were standing there. Only a small number of Star Traveler level 3 and 4. Many of their auras were no weaker than Hong and Thunder God. 5,000? 8,000? That Star Traveler level 8 is 20,000? Star Traveler level 9 Spirit Reader is 100,000? Luo Feng looked at the prices. 100,000 black dragon dollars. One could buy a Star Traveler level 9 Spirit Reader. If placed on Earth, that would be almost invincible. Gao Sheng, who was beside Luo Feng, didn't care. Star Traveler levels can't most be hired thugs or servants. They don't have much use. In the universe, the star level is considered the best level for bodyguards and servants. However, the Star Traveler level and below is about 10 black dragon dollars. The Star Traveler level is about 10,000, and the star level is about 100 million. Under Gao Sheng's lead, They quickly arrived at an even more spacious plaza. Standing there were a total of 18 fighters and spirit readers. They were star level 1, 2, 3, level 9 fighter and spirit reader, one each. Every one of them had a price. The 18-star level slaves all automatically released their auras, displaying their strength. Especially the star level 8 and 9, they were much stronger than the golden horn beast from back then. This group of people gathered together. The aura they emitted made Luo Feng tremble uncontrollably. So strong, Gao Sheng muttered beside. It's making my legs tremble uncontrollably. Very strong. Luo Feng held his breath. Leaping through levels was a leap in life itself. The further one went, the more exaggerated the leap would be. If it was said that a Star Traveler level 1 was several times stronger than a student level 9, then a Star Traveler level 1 was more than 10 times stronger than a Star Traveler level 9, and a Universe level 1 was much stronger than a Star Traveler level 9. The further one went, the greater the gap between the levels. This was also why, back then, the Star Traveler level 7 and 8 Hong and Thunder God, who were both domain warriors and had their souls immolated, couldn't even break through the golden horn beast scales. It was Hong's final burst of power that broke through the scales. One was that the golden horn beast was too strong. Two was that the gap between the star level and Star Traveler level was too high. The difference was too huge. These 18 slaves, all of their auras were much stronger than Luo Feng's. Taking out a star level 7 or 8, it would definitely sweep through the entire earth. One finger could crush Luo Feng to death. Star level 1 fighters sure are cheap, only 1 million. Star level 4 fighters, 20 million. Star level 7 fighters are too expensive. They actually cost 500 million. Star level 8 fighters, 2 billion. Star level 9 fighters, 5 billion. Luo Feng looked at the prices. As for spirit readers, it was 3 times the price of a fighter of the same level. The prices are still reasonable. Gao Sheng evaluated. This gentleman, do you have any plans for these star-level slaves? Immediately, a person in charge of the plaza ran over. Obviously looking at Luo Feng and Gao Sheng's bodyguards, he guessed that they were big customers with the ability to buy. I already have all the star-level ones. Gao Sheng looked at the person in charge, smiling. I heard that on Dragon Star, there were universe-level slaves for sale. Luo Feng was shocked. Universe-level slaves? A galaxy's normal development would only produce one universe-level warrior. Universe-level, that was a true local tyrant. Universe-level slaves? However, regarding the slaves' information, Luo Feng had learned from Babata. The slaves' brains were all implanted with a biochip, after which it fused with the brain. The moment it was implanted, there was no way to leave. They would be completely loyal to the master. To destroy the biochip, one had to destroy the brain. And a human warrior's soul was in the consciousness. Hence, destroying the brain meant death. Unless one became a domain lord. The domain lord's soul could already leave the brain, destroying the biochip in the brain. Hence, according to the theory, with the biochip implanted, the strongest the slave could reach was a universe level 9. Of course, if it was the Yin Mo planet secret technique, the soul imprint technique, that could even control an undying warrior. However, that technique, in the vast universe, it was a top-secret technique that definitely wouldn't be passed on to outsiders. Universe-level slave? If you want to buy it, sure, our boss above can arrange it. The person in charge smiled. I'm just asking, I can't afford it. Gao Sheng laughed loudly. Universe-level slaves are expensive. No choice. Capturing a universe-level warrior alive was already difficult. Adding the biochip implanted makes it even harder. A universe level, its price is in the trillions of black dragon dollars. More expensive than a planet. The person in charge shook his head. From what I see, with that money, you might as well buy 10 or 20-star level 9 warriors back. Who knows if your luck is good? One of them will break through to the universe level. When that time comes and you sell it, wouldn't you be rich? You're messing with me. Gao Sheng stared. A star level 9 breaking through to the universe level? 1 out of 100,000? I'm just saying. The person in charge laughed loudly. Luo Feng, however, looked at the slaves with envy. A star level 8 or 9, compared to his Earth clone, was over 1,000 times stronger. Even if the star level 4 Golden Horn Beast went all out, it wouldn't be a match. If he didn't meet a universe level, such a slave as a bodyguard, he would be able to do whatever he wanted. And the slave controlled by the biochip was definitely obedient. In countless years, there had never been a case of a slave rebelling against its owner. It's just too expensive. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The Golden Horn Beast needs money to become stronger. Deities of the world needs money to train. Becoming a leader of Earth needs money too. Getting powerful and obedient underlings still needs money. Damn it. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. I don't use the Arc Cutter Blade much anyway. The real trump card is the hybrid copper essence shard. I might as well sell the Arc Cutter Blade. When that time comes, I'll have enough money to train and buy slaves. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Just wanted to ask, do I have a monthly ticket? Chapter 288. Indecisiveness would only lead to trouble. One Arc Cutter Blade didn't have much of an impact on his strength, but the moment he sold it, it would be of great help to him. Look, there are Dreamshell clan people there too. Gao Sheng's eyes gleamed, pointing into the distance and shouting, Sha Sha. Those are all from your clan, right? Luo Feng followed Gao Sheng's finger and looked over. Beautiful jade-haired girls were there. Some were alluring, some were young and inexperienced. All of them were extremely beautiful. Beside them, there's a group of jade-haired handsome men, all of them dressed up very valiantly and handsomely. XXXX. The group of Dreamshell clan slaves looked at Sha Sha, some of them saying a bunch of strange words. Triple X. The servant girl behind Gao Sheng's eyes reddened, crying as she shouted out a string of words. What, you know them? Gao Sheng was shocked. The Dreamshell clan slaves were rather famous in the slave market. The Dreamshell clan's population was definitely in the trillions. He didn't expect the servant girl he took in the restaurant to know those slaves. I know them, Sha Sha said. Master, they're from the same hometown as me, the same batch that was captured by the leader and sold to the slave traders. Captured by the leader? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows beside. The leader of the planet not only didn't protect his own people, he actually sold them? Yes. Sha Sha gritted her teeth and said hatefully, Our hometown, that's a beautiful planet. The leader is our strongest warrior. He controls the entire planet. He has 2 demon kings under him, both star-level warriors. Star levels, in our hometown, that's already invincible. Our normal clansmen only have a few star travelers. They're not a match for the demon kings. The 2 demon kings lead an army, capturing large amounts of mature girls and youths, and then selling them to the slave traders. Sha Sha cried. Large amounts of our clansmen reproduce on the planet, and then get sold. This is our fate. We can't change it. These words made Luo Feng's heart go cold. My God, there is actually a planet specially used to raise slaves? Just like harvesting chives, batch after batch. Selling slaves is an extremely profitable business. Gao Sheng shook his head beside. A planet with tens of billions of people can reproduce in a few decades. Selling hundreds of millions of people was a huge fortune. However, this kind of thing is very disgusting. Once a race gives birth to a superpower house, then the planet lord is finished. Therefore, they usually only do this to some weak races, and those who dare to do this are all planet lords with powerful backgrounds. There are countless races in the human race. Some of the weaker races are very weak when they reach adulthood. It was extremely difficult to produce a planetary state. It's very normal for such a race to be treated as a slave race, Gao Sheng said. Ice cold. A bone-chilling cold. The universe was too naked. If Earth is discovered, Luo Feng's heart was trembling. The Earthlings were too weak. Even reaching the first star traveler level was extremely difficult. At this level, some powerful forces in the universe would directly make them into a slave race. They would reproduce for generations and then be sold as slaves. Generation after generation, it was endless. Like the Dreamshell clan? No. Luo Feng's heart was filled with rage. Anger. He couldn't accept this. Absolutely not. After coming to Dragonstar, seeing the star-level warrior that could crush him with a finger was only a restaurant manager, an important slave, a bodyguard. Luo Feng understood why Babata made him pretend to be a disciple of a big family, pretending to be a disciple with a powerful background. So, the universe was so naked. If you were weak, you would be stepped on. No one would give you any charity. If your race was weak, then your entire race would be stepped on, even enslaved. No one will help you. You could only rely on yourself. Disciple of a big family? Liquid silver guards? Black dragon ship? I'm not even a disciple of a big family. Yin Mo planet disciple? Yin Mo planet has already been destroyed. I'm just an earthling, a weak earthling. I still have to rely on disguise to gain some respect on Dragonstar. Otherwise, who would respect a little star traveler from an aboriginal planet? Luo Feng looked at the slave Shah before him, looking at the group of Dreamshell clan slaves. The female slaves were weak, while the male slaves were already star travelers. Obviously, the Dreamshell clan was even stronger than the Earthlings. Dreamshell clan, Earthlings, Luo Feng thought to himself. I definitely won't let Earth follow in the footsteps of the Dreamshell clan. Definitely not. Luo Feng thought to himself. A flame burned within his body. Seeing the Dreamshell clan, Luo Feng was completely awake. In this vast universe, there were tens of thousands of human races. The strong bloodlines, like the Manka people, reached the domain lord level when they reached adulthood, and the weak were even weaker than the Earthlings. Among them, the Earthlings were ranked lower. Most of their adult strength didn't even reach the student level 1. They were simply too weak. Why were the Manka people strong? It was because of the hard work of their ancestors that they were able to improve the genes of their descendants. For any race to rise, they needed a hero to stand up, a pioneer to open a path. Since there are no strong ancestors, then let me open a path. Since I can't rely on others, then I can only rely on myself. Walking with Gao Sheng and the others in the slave market, looking at the groups of slaves, many of them were sold in groups. Thousands or even tens of thousands could easily be ordered. This made Luo Feng's heart even colder. If one day, the Earthlings were sold in tens of thousands, among them were his own people, even his own family and descendants. That would be a nightmare. Brother Gao Sheng, I still have things to do. Let's part ways here. At the exit of the slave market, Luo Feng said goodbye to Gao Sheng. All right, Luo Feng, if there's anything, contact me through the virtual universe network. These few years, I'll be on Dragonstar. Gao Sheng said passionately. Definitely. Immediately, the two separated. Watching Luo Feng and the two liquid silver guards leave, Gao Sheng muttered softly, "Is it a school training or a large family's test?" After which, he shook his head and left with his bodyguards. He never would have thought that this black-haired youth with a huge background was actually the strongest warrior of an aboriginal planet. Even though he was the strongest warrior of the planet, he was still only at the Star Traveler level. Right now, I have to quickly increase my own strength. Increase Earth strength. Luo Feng walked on the streets of Dragon City. There were two ways to increase one's strength. The first was to increase the human body strength. The second was to increase the Golden Horned Beast strength. The Golden Horned Beast has the strongest battle power, Luo Feng thought. However, to let the Golden Horned Beast reach the universe level in 1 or 2 years, the amount of money required is not even enough to sell the Arc Cutter Blade. Then there's only one way. Let my human body's strength swiftly reach the star level. After which, go to the Universe Galaxy Bank and take out the first account my teacher left behind. Using the money from this account, I'll let the Golden Horned Beast body swiftly reach the universe level. Luo Feng easily made a plan for himself. With the Yin Mo Planet Master's strength, any hair he plucked out would be much stronger than the Dragon Star Domain leader. He believed that the money from this first account wouldn't disappoint him. Babata, I want to sell the Arc Cutter Blade. Where's the best place to sell it? Luo Feng asked. You really want to sell it? Babata couldn't help but ask. Right? Luo Feng was extremely determined. If it wasn't for the undying warrior's corpse, weapon, hybrid copper essence shard, eternal love, which was even more valuable than the hybrid copper essence shard, taking it out would be suicide. Why did Luo Feng have to work so hard? The hybrid copper essence shard, eternal love, these were all things that would make a domain lord go crazy. And the UNMO planet ship, these are things that would make an undying warrior go crazy. Luo Feng didn't dare take them out. If you want to sell it, go to the treasure shop from before. Babata said. Treasure shop? Luo Feng was stunned. The treasure shop's supply can't compare to the spirit weapon shops. They'll give you a higher price. Babata said. Luo Feng rushed towards the treasure shop. After a while, it's the customer from before. He's actually here for the second time. He should be here to buy something. The shop attendant saw Luo Feng and welcomed him passionately. Dear sir, what can I do for you? The waiter asked with a smile. I want to sell a spirit weapon. Luo Feng looked at him. This shocked the attendant. Luo Feng continued. It's level 3. Please wait a moment. The attendant was trembling. Spirit weapons were originally a luxury item. The price of every increase in level was frightening. Even the lowest level 3 spirit weapons had a few billion, and the highest level 3 ones could reach up to a few hundred billion. Sir, please come inside to discuss. Very quickly, the attendant ran out, respectfully bringing Luo Feng to a guest room inside. Within the guest room, the originally seated old man with red and blue stripes on his face, a 2'6" tall old man smiled and stood up, slightly bowing. Respected customer, I heard you want to sell a level 3 spirit weapon. This was a star level 6 warrior. On a normal planet, he was definitely an invincible being. Yes, Luo Feng nodded. I wonder what spirit weapon it is. The old man asked. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and the arc cutter blade appeared. The old man's eyes gleamed. This is the arc cutter blade in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's normal spirit weapon shops. The arc cutter blade's price is 21 billion Black Dragon dollars. Luo Feng said. Developing a mature spirit weapon, it was easy to imitate it. Of course, normal level 3 spirit weapons, only Sector Lord warriors could barely create and imitate it. It even required an undying being to create it. Selling weapons had always been an extremely profitable business, just like how the soaring shuttle was created by Huyen Bo, but the arc cutter blade wasn't created by him. The number of soaring shuttles in the universe was relatively low. The arc cutter blade, however, was a rather common level 3 spirit weapon. Its usage methods, this treasure shop definitely had it. A green light enveloped the arc cutter blade. It's a standard arc cutter blade. The materials used are not bad, and it's in perfect condition. The old man smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. I can give you 16 billion Black Dragon dollars to buy it. 18 billion? I can't go any lower? Luo Feng shook his head. This 18 billion was what Babata had told him. 18 billion Black Dragon dollars? This. The old man looked at Luo Feng. This youth before him seemed to have a good understanding of their line of work. If they wanted to purchase, first of all, it would be difficult. They would have to wait for the goods. Spirit weapons were, after all, something only Sector Lords could imitate and create. Secondly, they would have to spend over 18 billion to get one arc cutter blade. Deal. The old man looked at Luo Feng. Chapter 289. The two sides drew up a contract. Because Luo Feng didn't have a bank card, so Luo Feng had a special request. After applying for a new bank card at the Universe Galaxy Bank, both parties completed the transaction. The arc cutter disc belonged to the rare treasure shop, and a huge sum of 18 billion Black Dragon dollars belonged to Luo Feng. This bank card is really strange. It's actually fused with a spiritual imprint. Only the original owner can use the bank card. Others can't use it even if they get it. Luo Feng was amazed. This was definitely an extremely safe method, more secure than any password. After all, everyone's spirit imprint is different. The Universe Galaxy Bank, a super bank that covered the entire universe. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, they would only accept customers with deposits of over 100 million Black Dragon dollars. 18 billion. That's a huge sum. For example, Gao Sheng and the others, as well as Wei Lin, whom they had met in the restaurant. Luo Feng's mind felt the 18 billion in his space ring and was a bit excited. Why are you so excited? Just one hybrid copper essence shard was priceless. The Yin Mo planet ship, made from countless hybrid copper essences, was something that even undying experts coveted. That's what true wealth is. Babata couldn't help but say. Obviously, he couldn't bear to see Luo Feng like that. No matter how expensive it is, if you don't dare take it out, what's the point? Luo Feng said. Babata was stunned. The Yin Mo planet ship was something that even the entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire would not hesitate to pay any price to snatch. Would Luo Feng dare to take it out? Even if one became a universe level or a domain lord, they wouldn't dare take it out. Together with the old man, he returned to the treasure shop from the Universe Galaxy Bank. Right now, I don't have enough money to let my golden horn beast reach the universe level in a short period of time. Then, I need to quickly increase my body strength. Luo Feng was very clear that in the vast universe, huge amounts of wealth represented great power. He had to get his hands on the first bank account that his teacher had given him as soon as possible. Therefore, he had to improve his physical strength as soon as possible. Only in this way could his soul improve rapidly. After all, the Golden Horn Bee Soul was a star level 4. Luo Feng's body strength had no limits. Luo Feng. The Muya crystals have life energy. It can raise a person's soul and body. And there were no side effects. That's why. The Muya crystal can allow an advanced level war god to evolve to the Star Traveler level 1 stage. It can also make monsters transform. Babata said, "Of course, you don't need to strengthen your fleshly body or soul. You only need to strengthen your body." Luo Feng's body was the main reason why his strength was limited. To strengthen your body with the money you have now, the best is the Jade Wave Marrow. Babata explained. Blue Wave Marrow is a very effective treasure at the Star Traveler level. At different stages, treasures had different effects. For example, Marika's Water of Life could allow ordinary people to regrow their limbs. The Spirit of Nature could increase the power of the War God, and some special Spirit of Nature could even heal Star Traveler states. But it couldn't increase the power of a Star Traveler. At this time, they needed better treasures. Mr. Luo Feng, the old man from the Unique Treasure Shop, smiled and said, "This is our Unique Treasure Shop's membership card. You can enjoy a discount of 8%. Our Wondrous Treasure Shop won't give out membership cards easily." "I understand." Luo Feng smiled. This old man obviously knew Luo Feng had 18 billion Black Dragon dollars in cash. Naturally, he hoped Luo Feng would spend with them. "Do you have a Jade Wave Marrow here?" Luo Feng asked. He couldn't be bothered to look at the other treasures. This 18 billion was his capital. He had to make the most of it and use it to raise his own power. He definitely couldn't waste it and buy useless things. "We do." This Star Level 6 old man personally served Luo Feng, smiling as he brought him to a corner of the Unique Treasure Shop. There was a projection floating there. It was the Jade Wave Marrow. The Jade Wave Marrow was a strange green liquid that glowed with a strange light. Beside it was a price. Jade Wave Marrow. 1 gram is $9,000? Luo Feng nodded. "I need 30 kilograms. 30 kilograms? The old man nodded and smiled. This made the customers who entered the Unique Treasure Shop to look at it. Couldn't help but look at Luo Feng. Such an expensive thing like the Jade Wave Marrow. He bought 30 kilograms in one go. With a discount, it's 6 million Black Dragon dollars. The old man smiled. "I wonder what else Mr. Luo Feng needs. I don't need anything else for now." Luo Feng didn't even look at the other treasures. The old man was slightly disappointed, but he still quickly went through the procedures and immediately took out 30 kilograms of emerald marrow from the secret warehouse at the back. Only a shop on a core trading planet like Horn Dragon Star, which had over 100 galaxies, could take out so much stock in one go. Weaker planets wouldn't even be able to take it out. "This is the Jade Wave Marrow. Please keep it well, sir." The old man handed over a beautiful half-transparent glass bottle. Within was a strange green liquid that glowed with a strange light, similar to that of mercury. Just this bottle of liquid. Who knows how many people have lost their lives trying to collect this liquid? If converted to an advanced level war god fighter, it could buy over 10 million advanced level war gods. Okay. Luo Feng received the large transparent bottle. Schwa. It vanished. This made the other customers watching the transaction even more shocked and exclaim amongst themselves. Obviously, this youth had a space ring. With 30 kilograms of jade wave marrow, I'll be able to reach the Star Traveler level 7 in a short amount of time, my spiritual force reaching the Star level 1 stage. When that time comes, I'll be able to get the first bank account my teacher left for me. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. The remaining jade wave marrow, I can even help Hong and Thunder God. 30 kilograms of jade wave marrow. Luo Feng bought enough. Take care, sir. We welcome your next visit. The old man smiled, sending Luo Feng off with his eyes. Luo Feng once again arrived at the slave market not far from the treasure shop. Within the slave market, it was still filled with people. Beautiful and devastatingly beautiful female slaves. Only cost a few thousand black dragon dollars. Student level 9, advanced level war god. Fighters only cost 10 to 20 black dragon dollars. Everywhere, tourists could be seen, casually buying a few slaves. My strength needs time to increase. And in the future, I'll need manpower for many things. I'll have to leave Earth frequently. I'll need servants at home. Luo Feng immediately decided to buy some slaves back. Very quickly, Luo Feng arrived at a large slave merchant's market. Within the market, "Respected sir, I wonder what kind of slaves you need? We don't care if they're beautiful or strong. We have whatever you want." A skinny monkey-like person in charge, with a sharp and large nose, black skin. With one look, he recognized Luo Feng as a powerful buyer. I need star-level slaves," Luo Feng said. "Ah." The person in charge was happy within, smiling. "Please come over here. We have a large number of virtual projections of slaves. You can choose whoever you want, sir. The prices are even more fair. Buy more. We'll even give you a discount." Star-level slaves were very expensive. The person in charge was naturally very happy. Within the spacious guest room, a virtual projection appeared in front of Luo Feng. Large amounts of the slaves' appearances, their heights, strength, race, etc. appeared, including their prices. Star level 5 fighters 80 million. Star level 7 fighters 500 million. Star level 8 fighters 2 billion. Star level 9 fighters 5 billion. Spirit readers are priced at 3 times the same level fighters. Luo Feng looked at the prices. These are all normal standards, unless there were some special cases. Only then would the prices fluctuate. And for example, a star level 9 spirit reader was also a level 9 fighter. Star level 5 spirit readers 3. Luo Feng pointed at the virtual projection. These are from the Black Meng race. All right. The person in charge happily noted it down. Each was 240 million black dragon dollars. That was a total of 720 million black dragon dollars. Big business. He really didn't see wrongly. This youth was indeed a big customer. Black Meng race, star level 7 spirit readers 3. Luo Feng continued. The Black Meng race, their bodies were strong, and they often produced spirit readers. According to Babada's words, the Black Meng slaves were considered to be of good quality. Star level 7 spirit readers? The person in charge was shocked, looking at Luo Feng. 3. Each was 1.5 billion black dragon dollars. 3 meant 4.5 billion black dragon dollars. Even the big families on Dragonstar, only important people could casually take out that much money. And the disciples of the families rarely had that much cash. Have you noted it down? Luo Feng looked over. I've noted it down. The person in charge was extremely excited. This business deal was a success. His bonus would be quite a bit. Luo Feng nodded. How big of a discount can you give me? 5%. It's definitely the biggest discount. The person in charge's sharp nose gleamed. All right, give me 10-star level 1 warriors, 5 each for fighters and spirit readers, and another 1,000-star traveler level 9 spirit readers. Luo Feng said, Sir, the person in charge looked as though his parents had died. immediately staring. I can't give you that many. You're basically asking for my life. 10-star level 1 warriors, half for fighters and half for spirit readers. That was only 20 million black dragon dollars. 1,000-star traveler level 9 spirit readers. That was only worth 100 million. One price. Luo Feng looked at the person in charge. 5 billion black dragon dollars, along with the extras I mentioned. The person in charge was sweating profusely, his sharp nose beaded with sweat. His mind was like a computer madly calculating. All right. The person in charge gritted his teeth. This business deal, as the person in charge, he would still get a large sum of money. The majority of the money would be split by the upper echelons. All right then. Luo Feng nodded. Black Mane clans, star level 5, and star level 7 spirit readers, 3 each, along with 5-star level 1 fighters and 5-star level 1 spirit readers, and another 1,000-star traveler level 9 spirit readers. As for the races, you can pick from the 13 I've chosen. No problem. The person in charge nodded. I'll first pay 100 million black dragon dollars as a deposit. I'll inform you later to send the slaves to the planet's docking port. When the time comes, we'll complete the transaction there. Luo Feng said. Of course. The person in charge was all smiles. Over 1,000 slaves, most of them would be delivered at the planet's docking port. Luo Feng nodded. The total number of slaves was slightly more than 1,000. On Earth, an aircraft carrier could have thousands of people. For example, the Black Dragon spaceship was divided into upper, middle, and lower levels. It was a spaceship with a diameter of 100 meters. If it was squeezed, one level could fit thousands of people. After registering at the Ganwu Dojo, I'll bring the slaves and leave Dragon Star. Luo Feng suddenly thought of the scene of bringing such a large group of people back to Earth. He couldn't help but reveal a weird smile. P.S. As Tomato had to go out at night, he was rushing for time, finally managing to finish 2 chapters. Tomato could easily go out now. Chapter 290. After leaving the slave market, Luo Feng swiftly rushed towards the last stop in Dragon City. The Ganwu Dojo. Babata forced me to sign up at the Ganwu Dojo. Luo Feng stood before the gates of a huge city. Yes, this was a city within a city. The Ganwu Dojo on Horn Dragon Star was the largest and highest leveled one out of the 100 or so galaxies around it. There were large amounts of students gathered here. The entire Ganwu Dojo occupied a diameter of 280 kilometers. One could only imagine its grandeur. Gold Leaf. Luo Feng looked up at the Ganwu Dojo's main entrance. On the huge main entrance, there were 4 words written in Universe Common Language. Ganwu Dojo, and around these 4 words, there were golden leaf carvings. At the main entrance, there were many students entering and exiting. There were no guards at all. Luo Feng followed the other students in. So many, so big. With one look, he could see a huge plaza in the distance. It was densely packed with at least tens of thousands of students fighting one-on-one, engaging in group training. Tens of thousands of students training together. It was like a sea of people giving off a strong visual impact. And not a single student was below the Star Traveler level. No wonder it's the best Ganwu Dojo in the surrounding 100 galaxies. Luo Feng complimented within. The Ganwu Dojo, before coming here, Babata had already told Luo Feng in detail. This was a fighter spirit reader school in the Ganwu Universe country. It was an important channel to absorb large amounts of fighters and spirit readers. Also, the Ganwu Universe country forbade any other dojos or dojos from spreading their teachings within the billions of galaxies in their entire star region. Within the Ganwu Universe country, there was only one Ganwu Dojo. Of course, if a domain lord or sector lord was on his own planet, others would specially head over to take him as their teacher. The Ganwu Universe country naturally wouldn't care. However, domain lords, sector lords, and even undying warriors, they were all strictly forbidden from building dojos on their own planets and taking in disciples. This Ganwu Dojo actually has 3 Ganwu warriors. Luo Feng looked at the 3 carvings at the main entrance. Those were 3 human warriors. The 3 humans in the carvings were all dressed in dark purple battle robes. Their sleeves had a gold leaf embroidered on them. One leaf, Ganwu warrior. One planet's Ganwu dojo alone has 3 universe-level teachers. The Ganwu dojo in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire should have better teachers. If the Ganwu universe country and over 100 million galaxies Ganwu dojos were added up, Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim, "This Ganwu dojo's power is truly terrifying." Ganwu dojo. Star travelers were ordinary students. Stellar-level, elite students and qualified to be hired as instructors. On some normal planets, only the teachers managed the Ganwu dojo. At the universe level, one would step into the ranks of the respected Ganwu warriors, becoming a 1-leaf Ganwu warrior. An area lord was a 2-leaf Ganwu shaman. The realm lord was a 3-leaf Gan shaman. Therefore, in the Ganwu dojo, being able to obtain the title of Ganwu practitioner and having a golden leaf embroidered on your sleeve was an unparalleled glory. Your teacher's biggest problem back then was that he was too solitary. This was what your teacher admitted before he died. If he had been able to join a large power like the Ganwu universe country, he would have been able to do so. He would definitely be able to hold a high position within the Ganwu universe country's undying group. That way, the killer back then wouldn't have dared to kill your teacher so easily. Your teacher entrusted me with this. Without enough power, it's still better to join a group. A good man has 3 helpers. What's more, joining the Ganwu dojo in the Ganwu universe country's territory. It'll be very convenient to do many things in the future. What's more, the Ganwu dojo doesn't have many restrictions on the Ganwu warriors. Sai, the master back then, he was too solitary. He didn't have any friends, no group. Babada's voice was a little bleak and sour. Luo Feng sighed. According to Babada's description, his teacher's personality was rather solitary. Dragon Star, Ganwu dojo, within an office building. Knock, knock, knock. Luo Feng knocked on the door. Enter. An old voice resounded and the door automatically opened. Inside sat a white-haired old man with green skin and eyebrows that reached his waist. The old man looked over and Luo Feng smiled. "I'm here to register." "Register?" The old man glanced. The display screen beside immediately displayed a list of information. Luo Feng's name, nationality, strength, etc. "You're called Luo Feng?" The old man nodded. "Star Traveler level 8 Spirit Reader? Black Dragon Mountain Empire nationality? HM. The registration fee is 800 Black Dragon dollars. From now on, you'll have to pay 10 Black Dragon dollars every year to continue receiving the many teaching services of the Ganwu dojo." Understood. Luo Feng nodded. The Ganwu dojo, the true largest dojo, was actually within the virtual universe. However, the virtual universe had its own unavoidable flaws. "This is 1,000 Black Dragon dollars." Luo Feng took out a large note. 800 Black Dragon dollars registration fee and 20 years of fees. HM. The old man nodded and swiftly helped Luo Feng with the procedures. The Ganwu dojo was an important channel that absorbed countless geniuses from the universe. Hence, as long as you reached the most basic Star Traveler level, there would be no requirements to register. No tests or anything else, of course. If you weren't from the Ganwu universe country, then it would be slightly more troublesome. "Thank you." Luo Feng smiled and left. The information had already been inputted. From then on, Luo Feng had the status of a Ganwu dojo student. Future matters would be much simpler and easier. Dragon Star's Ganwu dojo. Luo Feng walked out of the dojo's entrance, looking back and smiling. "I'm afraid I won't have the chance to come again in the future." Glancing at the tens of thousands of students currently training and sparring. Regarding training, Luo Feng didn't care about the Ganwu dojo's teachings. He had the Yun Mo planet's teachings. Maybe the Ganwu dojo's core teachings could surpass the Yun Mo planets. However, even the sector lords of the Ganwu dojo might not be able to come into contact with such precious teachings. Outside the dojo's entrance, a student looked curiously at Luo Feng's back. "What's up, Wei Lin?" The other two asked curiously. That person before, he seemed to be the punk with the two spirit weapons we met in the restaurant. Wei Lin creased his eyebrows. Are you sure you didn't see wrongly? The other two were shocked. I didn't see wrongly. Wei Lin's lips suddenly curled into a smile. Humph, since he's at the Ganwu dojo. Then that's easy. I'll make some arrangements later and get a feel for this punk. Humph, he actually dared to disrespect me in the restaurant. Luo Feng was above Dragon City, flying with the other pedestrians. Right. Luo Feng was currently in contact with the slave merchants. I'm leaving immediately. Right? Wait for me. I'll meet up with you and head to the planet's docking bay. After Luo Feng finished, the quantum computer on his arm controlled by Babata immediately stopped the communication, after which Luo Feng dialed Gao Sheng's number. It's me, Luo Feng. Brother Gao Sheng, I'll be leaving Dragonstar now. No need to send me off. I'll be leaving the city. Next time. The next time I come to Dragonstar, I'll definitely look for you. All right. See you in the virtual universe. After the two communication ended, Luo Feng swiftly headed towards the North District where he had agreed to meet up with the slave merchants. Just 3 kilometers away from the North Gate, within a luxurious private room on the 6th floor of a restaurant. Mr. Luo Feng, this is our supervisor. He's in charge of all the business on Dragonstar. The pointy-nosed supervisor introduced respectfully. Within the private room, there stood a skinny, slightly longer-eared green-haired man. Behind him were 2 bodyguards, both dressed in black uniforms, tall and sturdy. Luo Feng, those 2 bodyguards are star level 9 spirit readers. The green-haired man is a star level 3 spirit reader. Listening to Babata's reminder, Luo Feng was very calm. As the supervisor in charge of Dragonstar, controlling so many slaves before the slaves were sold, arranging for the 2 most powerful ones to protect him was very normal. How do you do, Mr. Luo Feng? Let me introduce myself, I'm Woola. The green-haired man smiled. Mr. Woola, very nice to meet you. If there's nothing else, let's head out immediately. Luo Feng said directly. The customer's request is our command. The green-haired man bowed slightly, smiling. The ship is already waiting outside the city. Universe ships from outside, entering Dragonstar, had a dock at the docking bay. However, the local residents had parked their spaceships in their manors, and the slave merchants who were closely connected to the Horned Dragonstar had parked many spaceships and battleships in the Horned Dragonstar. A large ship was parked outside the city. Mr. Luo Feng, please. The green-haired man was very humble, after which he entered the spacious guest reception hall with Luo Feng. The 2 sat opposite each other. The table in front of them immediately had beautiful ladies serving large amounts of delicacies from all over the world. I wonder where Mr. Luo Feng is from? The green-haired man asked curiously. Sorry, it's not convenient to tell. Luo Feng said directly. Oh, I was too rash. I hope Mr. Luo Feng doesn't mind. The green-haired man expressed his apologies. Such a large deal of 5 billion. He was only lucky enough to come across it. After all, the competition in the slave market was too intense. There were many slave merchants. Facing such a generous customer, he naturally had to treat him with utmost importance. Slave merchants were cruel and cold towards their slaves. However, towards their customers, they were extremely respectful. The ship has arrived at the docking bay. A voice resounded within the ship. In the guest hall, the green-haired man immediately stood up. Mr. Luo Feng, the ship has arrived. Then let's begin the transfer of the slaves. As it's the highest authority, from now on, our slave merchants will no longer be able to control these slaves. The authority will all belong to you, Mr. Luo Feng. Hence, changing the authority of these 1,000 slaves will take some time. Okay. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. 16-star level underlings. 1,000-star Traveler level 9 spirit readers. He was about to get his hands on them. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 291. The slaves are all in the Great Hall of the lower 2 levels. Mr. Luo Feng, follow me. The green-haired man led the way. This ship was much bigger than Luo Feng's Black Dragon ship. Of course, the materials were much weaker. This was only a B-grade ship. In the lower 2 levels of the ship, Within the spacious great hall with a diameter of over 100 m stood large amounts of tall and sturdy, stern, or enchanting, beautiful slaves. If one didn't say it, one wouldn't be able to tell they were slaves from their appearance. After all, the weakest was a Star Traveler Level 9 Spirit Reader, stronger than Luo Feng. How could their auras be weak? Mr. Luo Feng, please stand in front. The green-haired middle-aged man said, the entire process will take a while. All right. Luo Feng walked to the front of the great hall, looking at the slaves standing perfectly straight. 1,000 Star Traveler Level 9 slaves gathered together, and the 16-star level slaves stood closest to Luo Feng. A peculiar sound resounded. In an instant, all the slaves' eyes became lifeless, and in the corner of the great hall, the green-haired man was arranging for his underlings to swiftly operate the equipment, and one of the equipment was pointed at Luo Feng, almost as though it was collecting his information. Time passed minute by minute. Gradually, the slaves' eyes all lit up, becoming spirited. About 12 minutes later, Master, these over 1,000 slaves were either male or female, or from different races, but they all bowed in unison, extremely respectful voices. Mr. Luo Feng, the green-haired middle-aged man, carried a silver chest and walked over, his face full of smiles. Everything has been settled. Inside are the 1,016 slaves' control terminal microchips. One control terminal microchip for one slave. Insert the microchips into the quantum computer and you'll be able to operate them. As for the operating method, I've already given you a detailed information storage card. The green-haired middle-aged man explained. Luo Feng nodded. Regarding this, Babata had already explained it to him in detail. Mr. Woola, then I'll transfer the money directly. Luo Feng smiled. After transferring the rest of the money to the slave trader's account, both parties were considered done. Haha. Receiving the notification from above that the rest of the money had been transferred, the green-haired middle-aged man immediately smiled. Mr. Luo Feng, it's been a pleasure working with you. This is my virtual universe network number. If you still want to buy slaves in the future, quickly find me. If you have any requests for the slaves, just ask. I will definitely give you the best discount. As he spoke, he handed over a business card. Definitely. Luo Feng received it and turned to look at the 1,016 slaves. Follow me, said Luo Feng. Yes, master. 3-star level 7 Black Meng Spirit Readers followed behind Luo Feng. Behind them were the other 13-star levels, and finally the 1,000 slaves. Some of the slaves even whispered, recognizing a master is such a headache. It seems that our new master has a very high status. I hope he will have a good life in the future. Although the cost of a biochip was very low, the technology involved was very high. It was rumored that it was a type of technology obtained from the battle between the human race and the mechanical race. Once he fused with the biochip, he would be completely controlled. He had all the memories of the past, yet he was completely loyal to his master from the bottom of his heart. The slightest bit of disrespect would be countered by the biochip. Therefore, in a vast universe, for countless years, none of the slaves controlled by the biochip had ever rebelled against their masters. Only if the slave became an area lord would they be able to resist the counter of the biochip. The strongest counter of the biochip was to explode their heads. Area lords could already destroy their heads and not die. Horn Dragon Star, the docking port. Respected sir, we welcome you to Horn Dragon Star in the future. Dressed in a gray uniform, with a height of 2.8 m and 2 horns on his head, a green-skinned, brawny man respectfully took the parking card from Luo Feng's hands, watching as the 3-star level 7 warriors led the group, entered the Black Dragon ship. The Black Dragon ship took off and left the docking port. Who? The green-skinned man finally let out a sigh of relief. It hasn't even been a day, and he's already brought a large group of people and left. And there are even 3-star level 7 spirit readers. The green-skinned man looked at his own quantum computer that displayed his strength, still feeling his blood boil. 16-star levels. 1,000-star Traveler Level 9 warriors. This kind of elite army could easily sweep through normal planets. In space outside Horn Dragon Star, Black Dragon Ship Control Room, 3-star level 5s and 3-star level 7s stood respectfully behind Luo Feng, and the 10-star level 1 warriors were temporarily in charge of the 1,000-star Traveler level 9 slaves. The other 1,100 were living in the lower and middle levels of the Black Dragon ship. The ship has already left Horn Dragon Star. On the control screen, the little demon's cute head appeared, currently accelerating. After a while, the ship has 10 more seconds to reach light speed and begin universe travel. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ship slightly shook. It lasted for 10 seconds. Travel successful. We've already entered the dark universe. Only then did Luo Feng turn to look at the 6 Black Mang Star level slaves behind him. Out of the 1,016 slaves he bought, only the strongest 6 were from the Black Mang race. The other 1,010 were from the 13 races Luo Feng had initially selected. The 13 races had something in common. Their height and appearance were all close to that of an Earth human. Black Mang race. Luo Feng looked at the 6 for men and 2 women. The Black Mang men were extremely handsome. The women were extremely beautiful too, very close to that of an Earth human. The only difference was, when they opened their mouths, they had sharp teeth, their eyes were dark red. "What are your names?" Luo Feng asked. "Master." One of the star level 7 Black Mongolian woman smiled. "My name in the universe language is called Ebola Senianatasna. Master, my name is Wei Tian La Kuda and I San Turad." The star level 7 Black Mang race member, who was a bit more muscular, said, "Master, this 6 people reported their names consecutively." My God, Luo Feng was speechless. The name of the Black Mang tribe was really long. "From today onwards, I don't care what you call each other." Luo Feng immediately pointed at the star level 7 sturdy man. "I'll call you Mang 1, you Mang 2, and you Mang 3. In one breath, from Mang 1 to Mang 6, Luo Feng immediately assigned them. Mang 3 and Mang 6 were females. "Yes, master." The 6 Black Mang tribesmen happily accepted the order, but they looked at each other helplessly. "You all return to your cabins to rest," Luo Feng ordered. "Yes." The 6 of them retreated. Only Luo Feng was left in the control room. The door automatically closed. "Babata, connect to the Virtual Universe Network," Luo Feng ordered mentally. Virtual Universe World, Black Dragon Mountain Island. The bustling streets were filled with people. Occasionally someone would appear out of nowhere. Luo Feng too appeared out of nowhere. On Luo Feng's shoulder sat a fist-sized little demon. "Mr. Luo Feng, I've discovered your Universe Galaxy bank account. Would you like to bind it?" A voice appeared in Luo Feng's mind. It was gentle and comfortable. "Bind it," Luo Feng said. Universe Galaxy bank account, merging with the spiritual imprint. This virtual universe network was connected to his consciousness, merging with the spiritual imprint. "Babata, follow the plan." Luo Feng randomly walked into an old bar on the side of the road, asked for a glass of fruit juice, and sat in the corner. "Luo Feng, I've searched for a bit. Within 30,000 light years of Earth, there are large amounts of planets that fit your requirements. We can use them as our second base." Babata said. "Ah." Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Earth was his home. He would definitely work hard to become the leader of Earth. Hence Earth would naturally be his first base. However, because back then, when the Yin Mo Planet Master entered the Dark Universe, he used a space technique to hide the Dark Universe coordinates of Earth that were close to 1,000 light years away. And to find the hidden coordinates was extremely difficult. Even amongst the undying beings, very few could do it. Hence, other than Babata, who could easily find the hidden coordinates, other ships had no way to directly reach Earth. They could only fly slowly. And in the future, when Luo Feng wanted to buy many metals, etc., getting them to send them to Earth was impossible. Hence, he had to choose a second base. This second base was where Luo Feng would receive large amounts of metals in the future, an important place for him to interact with many people in the universe. As close to Earth as possible, as cheap as possible, This planet's population should be as small as possible. The warehouse should be as big as possible, Luo Feng said. What he needed was a huge warehouse. In the universe, there were many such warehouses that were used for transportation. Some places that weren't suitable for farming or for humans to live in, there were many that were made into huge warehouses. Luo Feng, I found one on the internet. It's not bad. Bylon Star, a planet in the Milky Way galaxy. Its distance from Earth is 11,800 light-years. Bylon Star is in an extremely low temperature all year round. The coldest places can reach negative 120 degrees. The warmest places are usually around negative 10 degrees. The entire planet's population is 1 billion. Because of the low temperature, almost everyone lives in the cities. Bylon Star's extremely cold region, there's a 98 kilometers long, 61 kilometers wide large warehouse base. It's currently up for sale. This warehouse base is permanent ownership. Price is 800 million silver blue dollars. Babata said, after that, every year you only have to pay a management tax of 600,000 silver blue dollars. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. A 98 kilometers long, 61 kilometers wide warehouse base? No wonder it's a huge warehouse used for interstellar transportation. It's huge. These types of warehouses were usually built from the remains of ships and battleships. Even though it was huge, the cost of building this warehouse base definitely didn't reach 100 million silver blue dollars. Expensive was in terms of land. Of course, that kind of extremely cold region. To build it into a human residential area, the cost was too high. There wasn't much use. Selling it at this price, it wasn't too bad. All right, Babata, contact Bylon Star to discuss this matter. Luo Feng said directly. The negotiations lasted for over 3 hours. Finally, with the management of Bylon Star, they came to an agreement, using 800,000 Black Dragon dollars. The official price is 1 Black Dragon dollar equals 1,000 silver blue dollars. In reality, the value of the Black Dragon dollar is even higher to buy the permanent ownership of this warehouse base, with a 500-year management tax exemption. The Black Dragon dollar was much more valuable than the silver blue dollars. Normal planet residents might not even earn 1 Black Dragon dollar in a year. Time passed day by day. 9 days later, we're about to reach the universe coordinates of Bylon Star. We'll begin universe travel in 320 seconds. Within the Black Dragon ship, Babata shouted from the control screen. Luo Feng smiled. Bylon Star was very close to Earth, only a little more than 10,000 light-years. With the Black Dragon ship speed, 1 day would be enough to go back and forth between Earth and Bylon Star. Update complete. Brothers, the monthly votes are awesome. Recommendation votes are good too. Not even 200 votes, and I've made it to second place. Work hard, work hard.